Hey there, this is BitB, and welcome out to another BitB stream. Thanks for coming out. It is Saturday, and we're playing a little bit more Ace Attorney up, frig, I almost said Apollo Justice. I don't know why I'm so stuck with that name. I don't know. But anywho's, yeah, sorry, we had a little bit of a thing. I thought the mic wasn't working properly. Now, this is the first stream I'm doing where I am also actively running the AC in the background. But I think with the filters I have on, you shouldn't be hearing it, which is good. And also, the positive thing is that I'm not going to melt tonight, which is good. Let's see, also, this is the first Ace Attorney Miles Edgeworth thing involved with the new, like, updated background with all the extra ambient occlusion stuff. So, hope that looks very nice. Anyway, so last we left off, something smells, so it's obviously the butts. And also, Old Bag won't leave me the hell alone. But you know what? Whatever. I will push on through. You don't hear the AC? Good. See, this is one of the positives of me moving over to OBS, on top of being a little bit more lightweight, and the fact that it enabled me to do a little bit of like full 1920 HD streaming. On top of that, it's got filters in it that allow me to filter out a whole lot of stuff I don't want you to hear. Anyways, I think we are set and good to go. We found out that Edgeworth is a weeb for the Steel Samurai. Funny enough, actually, I went back and I looked at the original, the first episode that I did of Ace Attorney Investigations, and I completely forgot one scene where they were talking about the Steel Samurai statue. I'm like, I gotta go back and look at that, because I clearly checked that. And that was actually pretty funny. But anyway, let us move over to the 3DS screen. There we go. I think the audio is leveled out properly. I'll monitor it for like the first few seconds here. Maybe it's a little bit quiet. Hold on. Let me raise my own like preview audio just so I can hear it properly. Yeah. Not bad. Ah, yes, we're starting out in the middle of this fire area. You can imagine him and Maya trading cards. Probably. It's Penny in the background be like, you have any rares? I want a rare! Anyways, March 14th, 9:21 p.m., open air stage. Hello, businessman. I've left the Damask the second investigation to Francisca and returned to Babal. I suppose my first order of business should be to look into Babal's statue. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth! Hey, how you guys doing? So, okay, what's the situation? No, it's great! Investigating is so much fun! That's not what I'm asking about. In other words, they've made absolutely no progress. We weren't goofing off, honest sir. We've been investigating our hearts out. Very well then, would you care to give me an update on your investigation? Okay, we've had a really fun time, sir. I knew it. Zero progress. In any case, Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir? You have permission to enter the Albastian embassy, is that correct? Yup. As a local detective, I'm helping out with the investigations on both sides, sir. Good. In that case, I can leave these pieces of evidence with you. Ah, yes. Those things. They belong to the lady under the pink princess's mask. The the pink princess? What kind of lady was playing her, sir? A demon. The kind that was also playing the role of the pink badger yesterday. Oh, understood, sir. Exactly. Don't need to go into any more detail. If I happen to run into her, I'll give them back to her. I don't think she really cares all that much. Actually, keep a hold of them. They're evidence. And if I don't, then I guess I'll unload them somewhere. He doesn't seem all that enthused to go find her, but I can't blame him. Evidence that has lost their value given to Detective Gumshoe. Now then, I don't believe I'll be needing this anymore either. What? Are you really gonna throw away that autograph? Yes, because the Steel Samurai was a fake. Well, dang. Alright, guess I can't use that for any kind of bait. Wait, what do you mean by fake? Now then, I believe it's time for a little housekeeping. Unnecessary evidence has been removed. Remaining evidence has been rearranged. Okay, lovely. Well, let me take a look here. So this is all the stuff that's left that is relevant. How do you know it's relevant and which one's not? You can be throwing away something valuable. You rookie! Here, I'll move over to the other headphones real quick. Here. The earbuds, as they are. Anyway. Okay, so what we have here... Okay, we have the note. The passion flowers are apparently relevant. Cool. Wait. IRC, wasn't she not keeping Kay with her? Yeah. That's a good question. I wonder where she is. I don't know. Maybe she managed to ninja herself away. Anyways. So that's all that stuff. I guess I can start looking around in this area. Cement bags? Bags full of cement powder are stacked up here. I suppose they're for renovation? Yeah, because I don't smell a drop of gold here. Or any other treasure, for that matter. Kay, the only scent you should detect in a place like this is the smell of sweat. Ugh. Sweet sweat. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, that was a pretty good play on words there. Gummy, don't randomly jump into one of our dialogues like that. Were you eavesdropping on us, Detective Gumshoe? No, it's not like that, sir. I certainly hope not. Oh, hey, a ladder. God damn it. A ladder. Actually, that's a step ladder. They're the exact same thing. No way. From their structure up, they're totally different. But of course, from a thief's perspective, the best kind of ladder is the rope ladder. A step ladder is much too heavy to carry around, after all. And from a prosecutor's perspective, any type of ladder is guilty of being dangerous during an earthquake. Yes, yes. Let's throw off these shackles of, I don't know, predestined biases based off of what kind of ladder you are. Just looking at these scaffolds makes me want to climb them. I recommend that you do not try. There was a fire burning here until not long ago. Yeah, but I think enough time has passed, so it should be alright. That's not the point. Heat weakens metal pipes, you bastards. Thief Child says, if there is a height to be scaled, then scale it you must. Start from Thief Child. Would you care to explain what you just said? Gonna go eat dinner? Okay, sounds good. We're having a real time at cleaning it up after the fire. I suppose we should stay out here and investigate the stage some more then. Well, shite. Okay, well, what about you, bastards? Let's talk with you. Oh, so you're back now, are you, Mr. Edgeworth? You must be tired. Here, with these, you can eat whatever you'd like. And these are discount tickets for our cafeteria. They open tomorrow at 10 in the morning, so I can't do much about being hungry now. I appreciate the concern, however, these coupons do nothing for me right now. Probably never will, since I won't be back. Anyways, open air stage. This open air stage, what function does it serve exactly? Well, normally we use it for a variety of events. It's all to attract that extra bit of attention to Babal. I heard that tonight over in the Albastian Rose Garden, Ambassador Alba was to give a speech. And you know what? Manny told me that I really should give a speech too. Mr. Cohen told you that? Yes, he did. Which is why I thought I should give a speech of my own. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to. Because of the fire the Yatagaras-YEW started? Exactly. Okay then. What about the statue? Ambassador Paulino, I'd like to ask you a little more about the Primitive statue. Oh, I see. Well, let me ask you this. Did you know that Albast and Babal used to be one country called Cordopia? Yes, I know that much about your history. Well, the Primitive statue belonged to the founders of Cordopia. At least that's how the story goes. It was bequeathed onto the king of Cordopia as a symbol of the country's wealth. So it was meant as a symbol of sovereignty and the right to rule, I take it? Yes, that's right. which is why both countries are so adamant about their claim. We hold the real statue, therefore we hold the right to rule, is the reasoning. It's pretty petty when you think about it, though, I suppose. But if Albast and Babal were to re-establish relations, shouldn't that put an end to the squabbling over the statue? Yeah, but one place is strict, another one isn't, and now there's a whole bunch of mess going on, and I have no reason to believe so. The primitive statue is even more important now as a key to diplomacy. I wonder if Ambassador Polino knows about what has happened to the very important key to diplomacy. Perhaps I should try showing him this key and see what he has to say about it. Oh, I see. Okay, well, let's talk about Manikoan real quick. Ambassador Polino, there's just one thing I'd like to ask you about. Yes, oh, and don't worry, you can ask me more than just one thing. How about 2 or 3? In exchange, I expect you'll be coming to Babal, yes? Thank you, but just the one thing is all I require. Manikoan, I'd like to ask you about this man who was your secretary. Sure, I'll tell you what I know. Thank you for your cooperation, Ambassador. He was, well, if I had to put it in one word, he would be an able man. If there was ever anything I needed as an ambassador, he was able to get it for me. To think that a man like that had a hand in a smuggling ring right under my nose, going completely unnoticed. Actually, I suppose because he was an able man, I was unable to detect his dirty dealings. Sounds like Mr. Cohen had a very sharp mind. Recently, Manny had been really busy, since I became the Babalese representative at the Country Unification Council. He's been working tirelessly to cover my work for me. I'm sorry, but what is this Country Unification Council? Oh, well, you see, had tonight's event proceeded without a hitch, our 2 countries were to reunify and become one again. But I guess with how things turned out, that dream won't be realized anytime soon. I suppose not. You never know. There might be some kind of a miracle that happens. Hey, if I solve this mystery, maybe Codopia will be once again. Anywho. So, yeah, we got 2 different statues going on here. Guess the one that you would be most interested in would be the one that had the blood on it. Yes, bloodstained weapon used to kill Damask, originally from Babal's Secretariat's office. Ambassador Polino, if you could please take a look at this with me. The primitive statue sitting in Albast right now actually belongs to Babal. So it would appear. I received a call from Miss Von Karmer about this earlier. Then you will understand why I wish to inspect Babal's primitive statue immediately. Because the statue, currently in your country's possession... Yes, well, I've already inspected it myself. I can't trust that shit. And it is definitely Albast's statue. Shut your face. Let's see. I know, because it's the real statue. No. Then you're saying the Babal's was a replica? I'm embarrassed to say it's true, even though I knew that someday it would be exposed. Don't you know the miracle never happens? You know, you never know. Come on. A little bit of faith in things. I mean, there's truly been some miracles that have happened in court. I don't think they're miracles that were happy ones, but... I received my orders from the leaders of Babal, and I was to negotiate with Ambassador Alba at this event. I was to negotiate with him and fix the results of the evaluation tonight. Never happen. Yeah. It's a Justice for All joke. Oh. Dang, I need to go back and look at those streams. To say that we could not determine which statue was the real one. Oh, why are you telling me this? Well, because you already figured it out. Our statue is just a hollow gold shell. And the bad ending. Oh, okay, that's what you mean. Even if Babal were to lose face, the reunification of the country is what's important. I'm right in thinking that, aren't I? I'm not making a mistake, right? If you don't know yourself, then I won't pretend to know either. I'm an outsider. There's a bad typo that haunts Shinetsu to this day. Oh, that kind of sucks. It is a shame that, like, these games came out around the time where you couldn't just patch a mistake out and then end up just being 100% concrete, especially with story-type games like this. Nowadays, you could just say, oh, hey, there's a patch for this one game, and it's automatically downloaded to your system. Ta-da! It says, but the circle never happened. Oh, shit. That's English. That's, oh, yeah, I expect to see that on, like, some kind of a Japanese shirt. With, like, a sad phoenix or something. But, you know. It's unfortunate, it happens. The good news is that the games have been reported several times, and I'm sure they probably fixed it after that. Right? I kind of hope so. You were thinking about something else. What? The circle never happened. I am not sure. I'm trying to think, like, what else you could interpret from that. I know it's not circle. I know it's miracle. It's just like error. Anyways, the miracle never happened. No miracle, no come true. Okay, so back to the story. I never thought that by being portrayed by my own by my own secretary, the real symbol of wealth would be given to me. Isn't it simply ironic? Oh, we'll see. Yes, it has been fixed. Yay! See, there's a miracle for you. Okay, so now I've handed you that. Well, what about this? Do you have anything to say about this? This statue resembles that hero, the Steel Samurai, don't you think? I was thinking, what would you say to changing its name to the... Oh, wait, I think I've already read this. I'm not sure what to think. I thought that thing was a national treasure. Meh, not when tourism is at the helm. Alright, I presented the statue to you. I wonder if there's anything else involved in this place. I guess I didn't check the actual stage. It would appear that the stage is also scheduled to be renovated. You know, I would love to perform on a stage like this. Something like, the greatest great thief show! I should think it would be a bad idea for a thief to show their face to the world. You're a horrible ninja, Kay. A horrible ninja. Does he know you're a lawyer? Good question. We could show him this. Lawyer! Oh, is that a prosecutor's badge? It has a very cool design. I know! We should start selling items like this as souvenirs in Babal. The tourists will absolutely go nuts over them. Please don't compare a proud symbol of my profession to a cheap souvenir. I feel like I have presented that badge before. I recognize that line. I just remember I feel the same disgust that I felt originally, just being like, oh, good. Oh, hey, you're not going back to Al Boss already, are you? No, not yet. I still need to gather a bit more information first. Okay. Cone? I didn't think I could actually examine the cone, but alright. So how come so many traffic cones are red and white? That's because they're highly visible from a great distance. Oh, is that why? So then the reason you wear that wine red suit is for visibility's sake? Please don't compare me to a ragged plastic traffic cone. I don't know, you have enough of an ego. I feel like you probably do that exact thing for that exact reason. I can't examine the wheelbarrow. What about the bushes? Hey, do you detect the scent of treasure coming from this bush? The scent of treasure? Not at all. Mr. Edgeworth, you're totally not with it. I'm not with it? No, and it's important for both thieves and prosecutors to be energetic. Perhaps for a thief like you, but that level of energy is unbecoming of a prosecutor. You really think so? Oh god, I don't need to be reminded of him. That prosecutor we met at Gatewaterland seemed to be pretty active. Well, he's not a prosecutor anymore. See how everything just naturally balances out? Yes, very true. This bush? This bush looks like the perfect place to hide some sort of treasure, you know? Ah, but there's no treasure inside those things. Oh, too bad. But we do have a lot of treasure back in Babal. Sounds great. I'll be sure to pay you guys a visit sometime for a 5-finger discount. Sure, we welcome you anytime. I feel like you don't understand the term for that. Are you sure you really want to invite a thief into your country with open arms? Maybe Gumshoe has something to say. Good point. How's it going, Detective? Mr. Edgeworth! You look like you're enjoying yourself, Detective. Well, I don't have much else that I enjoy as much as a good investigation, sir. So, what did you find out? Oh, well, I take it he's found nothing of any particular use, as usual. Shit. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, I got something really interesting from Ambassador Paulino. Oh, and what is this something interesting? This, sir. Oh, this is something. Dude, yeah, this is a pretty significant thing. Wow, it's so pretty. I'm so jealous. That's a real treasure there. Why does the flame burn green, Detective? So, apparently, if you burn the special white crystal oil that they only make in Babal, it burns this green color, sir. Interesting. So, it's a special property of the oil. I suppose this is a ploy to force people to visit Babal should the oil run out. Hey, Gummy, what about these silhouettes? They stuck some cutouts on the outside of the lantern so it'd project the images. Oh? Silhouettes, huh? They are rather pretty, aren't they? Ooh, shiny. Wait, what am I doing? I was supposed to be asking for an update on the investigation. Hey, what's wrong, sir? There's something I want you to investigate for me. Do you think you can do that much? Uh-huh. You got it, sir. Hey, that's not fair. Why is Gummy getting to do all the fun stuff? Because he is a policeman. You are a thief. Shush. Well, that's because I'm Mr. Edgeworth's partner. I can't believe you took advantage of the confusion and stole my role as an assistant. I expect the two of you to get along and work together like professionals on this. Ooh, okay. Can I use that lantern to find, like, weird hidden secrets? Or maybe it's going to be, like, a plot device being like, we saw a dragon on the outside of the building! It wasn't a dragon. It was etched into this lantern. Hey, where are you going? Are you heading back to Albast? Yes, but before I do, I suppose I should give you a summary of what's happened. Oh, I see. So there's been a murder in both countries using an object from the other country? That's the gist of it. Babal is just as strict as Albast in their inspection of the people and things that enter their country. Meaning that somehow both murder weapons were smuggled into the two countries. That's the only logical conclusion that can be drawn. Perhaps the key to the weapon smuggling is the person who traversed both countries. You mean the fake Yatagarasu? In one way or another, the Yatagarasu is connected. Of this, I am sure. Now then, where was the Yatagarasu first spotted? I believe it was the rose garden on the Albastian side of the embassy. The garden is just on the other side of this boundary. It's where Ambassador Alba was to give a speech tonight. At least, that's where I heard the Yatagarasu had appeared. In that case, I believe it's vital that I investigate the rose garden post-haste. Wait, before you go, take a look at this, Mr. Edgeworth. It's a guitar pick, probably. What is it? My guess is that it's a guitar pick. I picked it up just now over there. Do you think it'll be of any use? I mean, if I need to play a ukulele, maybe, but... there's a little water on it, but how did the water get on it? It was on the ground. It doesn't look like there's anything it could get wet from around here. I was thinking, they have concerts here at the open air stage from the time to time, right? Alright, I'll find its owner later. Neat. Okay, well, based off of the shape of it, maybe I'm not much of a guitar player, but I feel like having crap etched into your pick is not good for the pick unless it's like, I mean, it's probably metallic. I know if you etch that into a plastic pick, it's very likely to be just cracked and destroyed. So yeah, for this pick's sake, I hope it's metallic. Oh yeah, there's one more thing. Mr. Edgeworth, would you be willing to hold on to this? What is this? Oh, it's the perfume. It's best used perfume. It's the bottle that woman left behind and that I found 7 years ago. I thought that one day it'd be of some use in tracking her down. So I kept it safe all this time. Thank you. I'd be honored to hold on to it for you. Well, all we need to do is find the sweet smell of roses or whatever the hell. And we got ourselves a U. Right. Roses. I think I'll be returning to the investigation in Albas now, but I know. I'll go back to Babal and do some more investigating there. Certainly hope I didn't miss anything there. I could have very easily missed, like, a piece of dialogue by not going through a door. Shit. Gotta think about that. March 14th, 9:58 p.m., Rose Garden. Oh, no. So that means that whatever this scent is, it's gonna be masked here. Oh, I see you're back, Miles Edgeworth. Oh. Hello, Franziska. How are things in Babal? Although, can't really say I expect much from the Scruffy and that girl. The investigation into Manny Cohen's death hasn't really progressed any. However, the investigation into the Yatagarasu has. Ah, yes, the Yatagarasu. Even now, I find it hard to believe. A person who can freely traverse between the two countries at will. Preposterous. Well, that's what I came here to investigate. I heard that this is where witnesses claim to have seen the Yatagarasu. That's correct. Ambassador Alba was giving a speech tonight here in the Elbas, and that's when the Yatagarasu appeared. Shadow. Shadow and the mysterious thief appeared, and just as suddenly, it vanished. After that, there was the fire and the Babalese embassy that the Yatagarasu started. Wait a minute. Well, alright, I said that one thing before about silhouettes and that lantern. Could this have something to do with it? Maybe? I vow that not a single feather from the Yatagarasu shall escape my diligence. We'll see. We'll see if I'm completely inept when it comes to this investigation. So, hi! What? There's an overturned spotlight here. When the Yatagarasu appeared, the audience that was waiting for the speech to start panicked. I suppose that's when someone must have knocked it over. I'm having a tough time visualizing the mass confusion that took place here. I thought to use my whip to capture the Yatagarasu. However, there were people in my way, and I was unable to land even a single lash. I suppose this means that some other poor saps were hit instead. That is a guarantee with Franziska in the room. Hello, statue. A statue of a woman. I wonder if the lady is pouring water. It says that it's a statue of the queen who spoke of love to King Premidu. Well, Mouse Edgeworth, it seems that you are lousy at reading a woman's heart. I opened my mouth about a statue and she somehow made the leap to that. Poor Miles. Well, I see that there are 2 leaves that sprinkle into the fountain. Oh dear, hi guys. There are roses scattered on the surface of the water, creating a pleasant fragrance. It's not just for aesthetics. The pool's water is also used in putting out fires. How often do fires happen that is specifically what this is for? Or are you saying that it was just conveniently there? It's like, oh shit, water! Psh. No, it actually looks like it might be a functional well. I see. Oh. The pool stopped filling itself automatically. The fountain spouts are set to stay open until the pool's water reaches a certain level. If the water is used to put out fires, I suppose it must be refilled to its normal level, which suggests that this pool was recently used somehow in this embassy. I guess I'll take some notes about it just in case. Well, is this pool directly connected into any sort of, you know, fire hoses or, you know, a fire hydrant somewhere? What are you doing in there? How dare you surprise me like that? I'm sorry. Oh, hey, Edgy. Thanks for what you did back there. Your gratitude alone is enough. More importantly, Larry, this pool is not for your personal enjoyment. You're contaminating the water table. I know that. Do you really think that I'm the type to just jump into a pool and swim around for fun? Maybe. Alright then. Did you by chance fall into the pool? Nice guess, but no dice. So, you know my son, right, Edgy? Your son? I guess I kinda lost sight of him when I shook hands with the ambassador. And I'm pretty sure he was around here when I last saw him. You imbecile! How could you be so flippant at a time like this? What are you going to do if your son fell into the pool? And how old is this child of yours anyway? How old is he again? I feel like it was probably a doll. Larry and Kay are like the only people he calls by first name. Yeah, I'd say so. Larry, this is the first I've heard of a son. Who exactly is the mother? The mother... Oh, that chick, the pink princess. The pink princess. Miss Von Karma. I was a bit confused by this man's words for a bit there. However, I believe what he is looking for is the doll of the Iron Infant. Yep, because I'm the Steel Samurai, through and through, heart and soul. Fake child. And the Iron Infant is my cute little son. You have given a whole new meaning to the phrase, an astounding fool. Larry, we have not seen hide nor hair of the Iron Infant. But rest assured that we should find him, we'll let you know. Now, get out of here. Sounds good. Yeah, in that case, I'll go search over there. Wait! Well, it's not as if he'll get very far swimming around in that pool. And though he's unrelated to the murders, he sure knows how to cause a lot of trouble. It's the butts, so yes. What the hell, man? So we're gonna find a random Iron Infant sitting around? Ooh, sword. This statue bears a resemblance to the Premadou statue. The plaque says, King Premadou and the battlefield. In order to save the queen, King Premadou put his life on the line and went to war. So Premadou was actually a person of royal blood? I thought he was simply someone imitating a character from an ancient legend. Well, what surprises me is that a real person who looked like the Steel Samurai existed. I suppose there's that too. Alright, we got a couple more lights. There's an overturned spotlight here. Yatagarasu, audience, panic. Looks like the exact same dialogue tree. You are not the Steel Samurai. Only Will Powers is the Steel Samurai. I don't know. I'm debating in my head which one is probably more appropriate for the job. And I guess Will Powers likes being the Steel Samurai for the kids more. I feel like this is all just one big old paycheck for Larry. Oh, and also trying to get into the pink princess's pants. Or panties. So, this is where Ambassador Alba was to give his speech. Stage was set up nicely, however. Where was the audience supposed to sit? In the pool, clearly. Perhaps they were supposed to sit around the edge of the pool. It's just a job, and he's not an actor. Yep. Yeah, I guess Will Powers is the person that deserves it more. That, and I feel like Will Powers is probably more buff than Larry would ever be. That's another thing. Yeah, I know that he is the Steel Samurai, and Larry was just here for the event. I'm just trying to think who would be the more fitting one. Larry is absolutely not more fitting. It's like seeing Mickey Mouse at Disneyland. That's not Mickey Mouse! No. It is funny to hear stories about some of the employees that work over at Disneyland. Just like, you know, the costumes are uncomfortable as hell, they're extremely hot, and then you have to duck down underneath the underground facility just so that you can take off a helmet and take a drink. That's such poor planning. If there was no place other than a spot or two by the pool, they really should have made seating arrangements, like how the gallery is set up in court. Indeed, you can sense that consideration for the viewers was taken with those. So in the end, the speaker and the audience were to stand the whole time, huh? Yes, although I suspect the audience would have liked to sit down after a while. Nah, the real Mickey Mouse is at Disney World. Ah, getcha. Specifically the one in Japan, or some bullcrap. Okay. I've been holding off, let's talk with you two. How is the investigation proceeding on your end? Langsy says that's top secret. If you're going to attempt to imitate, not intimidate. You could never imitate him. Intimidate. Fucking shit. At least do it well. I don't suppose he believes in the accidental leakage of information. Alright, how about you? Have you finished checking out all the bystanders? Yes, sir. And we found 14 counts of pickpocketing, 16 counts of illegal parking, and one person ran a light, sir. Shit. That is working overtime. Don't tell me you didn't find out anything related to the case. Sir, not a single thing, sir. Well, for now, let's just get those other lawbreakers down to the precinct. Agent Lang. Well, if it isn't Mr. Prosecutor. I would just like to thank you for your assistance earlier. Make no mistake, it's not like I was trying to help you with what I did. After I left, did you receive word from Ambassador Alba? We're to wrap up our bodyguard assignment at the end of the day. Oddly enough, we received word from HQ to return home on an urgent matter. As if I can be so easily called away from this case after I've come this far. I swear that I'll find the truth and drag it out screaming into the light. You're with me on that, right, Mr. Prosecutor? I mean, I am searching for truth, so yes. You were working as Ambassador Alba's bodyguard at the time. So, naturally, you witnessed when the Yatagarasu appeared, correct? Yeah, I saw the thief, alright, with my own two eyes. Yatagarasu was always there, lurking in the shadows. But when the spotlights were turned on for Ambassador Alba's speech, a shadow appeared. That's when the cries of, "It's the Yatagarasu!" rang out. The next second, the spotlight went out. And by the time we got the area lit again, the deft thief had vanished. When we investigated afterwards, we found that the reason the light went out was because someone had unplugged the extension plug for all the outdoor electronics. Whether it was someone doing it on purpose, or simply a guest who had tripped over it, we don't know. But one thing's for certain, the Yatagarasu was here. So you're saying that basically all you saw was the thief's silhouette? Yes. That don't sound like no Yatagarasu to me. If all you saw was a shadow, then it's entirely possible that the shadow belonged to someone else. Good thing it's this. You just might be right. If it weren't for the fact that there was no one else with that same shape, not among the staff or the audience members, my men have already done a thorough check of everyone, so I know I'm right. Someone else's shadow. That sounds like a plausible hypothesis. The suddenly appearing and disappearing shadow of the Yatagarasu. I believe I figured out its true origin. Have you? I'm not sure yet. I expect it's no less from my subordinate. Now, let's hear what you know on the subject. What really cast the shadow of the Yatagarasu? Alright. So, it has to be one of these things out here. Well, taking a look at the shadow... You know, it awfully sort of pseudo looks like this statue back here. A little bit. But it almost looks like there's something that's supposed to be on top of it first. Let me think. And then, of course, maybe something to do with this statue. But I don't think so either. Yeah, honestly, the only thing that even slightly has sort of this kind of a shape going on for it was this. Unless... Well, no. I feel like it has to be one of those statues, and this one looks a little bit closer to it. The suddenly appearing and disappearing shadow of the Yatagarasu. Is it not possible that it was created by this statue? Are you playing me for a fool, Miles Edgeworth? This statue bears absolutely no resemblance of the shadow of the Yatagarasu. You are correct. However, this statue is but one part of the whole picture. What do you mean by only one part? What's the other part of the real form of the Yata? Okay. Interesting. So I guess that would mean... probably the leaf, since that's the next thing that would be in line for it. Franziska, if you could take a look at this, don't you find it a bit, to be a bit suspicious? Not at all. As I thought. For you see, I was merely testing you just now. We have no time to waste on your pompous talk, so get on with your explanation already. Oh dang, oh dang, oh dang. I guess Franziska just couldn't understand my point. Shit. Okay. So I at least got somewhere with the whole statue talk. But maybe it had nothing to do with that part. Okay. Well, I don't really know why one of these things would be sitting on it. I was trying to revisualize the picture. Because the idea is that the light would be casting this direction, and then it would hit the flag. So by extension, there has to be something behind this. But there doesn't seem to be anything behind it. Neither does there seem to be anything behind the other one. Do you think maybe one of the lights was up at the time? There's a question. Franziska, if you could take a look at this, don't you find it to be a bit suspicious? Not at all? Oh, shit. Well, daily dose of whippings. All right. Can I back out of this? I think I've basically committed. There's a stool sitting over here. I don't know if maybe the stool did something. Or... Don't think it would be anything to do with the pool. What is the other part of the real... I guess maybe something on the other end? Could it have been both statues somehow? It's another statue? The Yatagarasu's shadow was made from the statues of these two statues. Or, no, the shadows of the two statues, rather. Made... What do you mean by that? Right now, the spotlights are all over the place. This is because they were moved when the guests were in a panicked state. However, if we were to restore the lights to where they were when the thief appeared, you believe that the two shadows will create the Yatagarasu shadow? Precisely. I don't know. Now then, watch as I reveal the true form of the Yatagarasu. First, if we set up a spotlight to cast a shadow of King of Primidu and the battlefield, the shadow of the king's statue would appear on the backdrop of the stage. Likewise, if we set up the queen who spoke of love to King Primidu, her silhouette would also appear on the backdrop of the stage. So if we were to combine the two shadows, it does not. It makes a unicorn man. That's what it is. It looks nothing like the Yatagarasu shadow. Miles Edgeworth, how do you explain this grotesque shape? Calm down, Francisca. The way the light needs to be shown on the queen's statue is wrong. What do you mean by that? I believe that the whole of the king's shadow needs to be used for this to work. However, in the case of the queen, I don't believe her whole shadow is needed. Rather, the person who created the shadow only used one part of her shadow. Only one part? Yes, and that one part alone is enough to fill in the rest of the Yatagarasu shadow. What part is that? Is that like a head? Why didn't you say that in the first place? You're right, I apologize. Oh, I see. Now, what part of the queen's statue was used to complete the Yatagarasu shadow? It was the hand. Think back of what is missing in our shadow. 5 long, thin areas, correct? Now, what does that remind you of? That's right. It can only be the shadow of the queen's left hand. Francisca, can we please adjust the spotlight's position so that it only shines on the queen's left hand? Alright, let's give it a try and see what we get. Yatagarasu! It's... Yeah, this is exactly like the shadow I saw. The culprit must have changed the spotlight's positioning beforehand, and then pulled the plug after people saw what the culprit wanted them to see. In their panic, the guests must have moved the spotlights around, which we can assume was also part of the culprit's plan. By the time the lights came back on, the Yatagarasu's shadow had vanished. Which means the shadow was a construct from the very beginning. So you see, the Yatagarasu never did visit Albast tonight. The only country that thief visited was Babal, although it can be assumed that the Yatagarasu had an accomplice in Albast. An accomplice? But who? I haven't figured that out yet, but I assume it was the person who set up the shadow show. I sense that the biggest clue yet to solving this case is the existence of this accomplice. Can we fingerprint the statues, or is that worthless? Yeah, investigation complete either way. How's the oh, who? Oh, hey, how you doing? Detective Bad, have you come to join us in investigating the Yatagarasu?
I've left the murder in Agent Lang's charge. And my only target, from the very beginning, is the Yatagarasu. So, yes.
So, what have you found out?
I got a piece of evidence.
May I see it?
Sure, but you might regret it.
We're here because we are ready to face whatever may come. So, if you please.
When people heard the commotion, bystanders started gathering. And one woman claimed, "I'm telling you, I'm a genuine international journalist."
Oh, shit. One of her pieces of evidence.
She gave me an interesting picture.
A journalist?
Well, actually, she's a freelance cameraman. This is the photo I got from her.
Just as spotty as they usually would come out. Very good, very good. Good job, Lotta. What in the world? The Yatagarasu is flying through the air?
The times, they are a-changin'. It's not just men, but evidence. Even they lie to us now.
When was this photo taken?
Apparently right after the fires on the 4th and 5th floors were put out. It was taken from a nearby building that you can see the embassy from.
I see. So this was taken after the fire? Right, so now we need to figure out what kind of puppetry this was.
The blur in this picture took off from the Babalese embassy, flew over the boundary, and headed for the embassy of Albast.
This is simply not possible. People are incapable of flight. Is that a fact? I've had the pleasure of dealing with a case involving a flying person once. I mean, technically it wasn't real, but it still counts. Actually, come to think of it, I've come across a case like that as well. Two, actually.
Maybe it happens more often than we think.
Am I up to the task of solving the mystery behind this photograph? Well, the Yatagarasu took off from the Babalese embassy, so I should start from there. Franziska, I need to return to the Babal investigation for a bit. All right. Very well. I'll continue investigating on this side of the building. All right, I'm counting on you. Hello. Welcome back, Mr. Edgeworth. Now, come on, let's get back to our investigation. Yes, let's. Okay, now anything weird or anything funny happening in here? Probably not. It looks to be the exact same setup in the entire place. Just beyond these doors, but it's been quite a number of hours now. Mr. Edgeworth, have I ever told you that you talk like an old fogey? I was merely reminiscing. Is that such a crime? A little bit. Makes you look spacey. Oh, shit. For God's sakes. Okay. So, this crime scene. Boy, everything is so burnt. March 14th, 10:37 p.m. Babalese Embassy, Secretariat's office. To think after all that running around, we're right back where we started. It would appear that way. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth! Hello, you fruitcake. Have you found Manny's killer yet? I'm terribly sorry, Ambassador Polino, but I have yet to find his killer. Then I guess his murder really was the work of the Yatagarasu. Shush your face. Let's get one thing straight. It was the work of the fake Yatagarasu. The real Yatagarasu is a noble vigilante who was only out to steal the truth. Miss Faraday, please don't make such a sad face. If there's anything I can do for you, all you have to do is ask, all right? Mr. Polino. Discounts are not going to help her in this situation. Actually, there is one thing you can do. Will you allow us to take another look around? We didn't have enough time to conduct a thorough investigation earlier. Oh, sure, but please feel free to investigate to your heart's content. Also, there are a few questions I'd like to ask you personally, Ambassador. If it'll bring a smile back to Miss Faraday's face, then I'll gladly answer anything. Thank you, Mr. Polino. You're a total gentleman. You don't have to waste such nice words on me, little miss. Hey, Sir Polino. Those two sure got chummy awfully quickly. You know, it's easy to say we're going to investigate, but where should we begin? We should probably start by comparing the statue of this room before and after the fire. And then we should look into the matter of the suspicious person you spotted. Yeah, when I came into this room, that person was already gone. But I'm willing to bet that the person I was chasing is Mr. Cohen's killer. We don't know that yet. However, it's hard to believe that person is unrelated. Furthermore, because the key the Yatagarasu stole 7 years ago was found here, it signals that perhaps Miss Yu is also somehow involved. I knew it. That woman is almost definitely Mr. Cohen's killer. Yet again, we don't know that. There are too many mysteries to be solved in this case. Speaking of the Yatagarasu and mysteries, I received a most mysterious photo from Detective Bad. Uncle Bad? He's taking part in the investigation too? Yep, he has been chasing after the Yatagarasu for all these years. Uncle Bad. Now then, I was told that this photo was taken just after the fire. What? This kind of looks like the person in the long coat I was chasing. Does this mean that I was chasing the fake Yatagarasu after all? I don't know the answer to your question, but I don't think people can fly either. But this could be how that person escaped. Well, we need to investigate a bit more before we can say anything about that. In any case, let's not dawdle anymore and pick up our investigation where we left off. Cool. So, let's see. There is the place where the body was. It appears that Mr. Cohen's body has been taken in for an autopsy. The white outline is all that is left to tell the tale of his murder. And then we got this thing on the ground. It's the charred remains of a fallen ceiling fan. Oh, I've seen a few of these before. They spin around and around and play music. Not quite. What ceiling fans do you listen to? I believe you're thinking of a musical mobile for babies? Yeah, that's it. But they're nothing alike. They're totally alike. They spin those babies round and round like a record. No, you don't spin babies around like a record. It spit. There's so many things to digest here. And also, I didn't think I would be hearing a Dead and Alive reference out of nowhere, but okay. Season is that season of the? Wait a minute. Oh, wait. SONF reference. I do not know. I know it's a song reference, but yeah. I see. I guess I can see how you might think that. I can't. And especially considering the fact that there's a thing about babies spinning them around like a record. Don't do that. Don't do that to babies. A grandfather clock. This one resembles the one in Albast. Oh, that clock has been with us since back when we were still Cotopia. That is one big clock. Hey, does this one have a bird that pops out like a cuckoo clock? I'm sorry, but no. No, but I'm sure you'll love its chime. Really? It's gonna be 11 soon, so maybe I'll get to hear it then. Is it that time already? Oh, time sure flies when I'm involved in an investigation. Oh, it's not that late. The night's only just begun. Kay, it's not good for you to stay up late, you know. Yes, Gramps. Anything about the, the little baubles here? It looks like all the souvenirs suffered some damage from the fire. I just don't believe it. Murder on top of arson. What a disgrace to the name of the Yatagarasu. The fake Yatagarasu was guilty of much more than just theft, it seems. I know, because if it were me, my first priority would have been to loot this bookshelf. You would steal ordinary souvenirs that you can buy virtually anywhere? You can't buy them anywhere. Each one is specific to a location and has its own value. And items that have memories attached to them are the most valuable of all. But could you really rob someone of their valuable memories just like that? No! But because even if I take the souvenirs, I can't take the owner's memories. Right. Actually, oh god, that reminds me of, oh damn it, I don't remember his name. He's the same comedian that made, he has an entire thing, a stand-up routine, about him playing What's New Pussycat, I think, I don't know, 20 times, like a ridiculous amount of times on the jukebox located in a diner in his town or whatever the heck. He had another joke where he was talking about this college party that he went to. Actually, no, John Mulaney. Yeah, John Mulaney. That's his name. Thank you. No, he had that one joke where he was at a high school party and he just got drunk as all hell. And then he escaped. Now, just to truncate the ever-loving hell out of this. He escaped the party after the cops showed up, and then later on down the line, he was talking to a friend, and his friend's like, hey, dude, I got something to show you. He's like, oh, yeah? Takes him into this sort of hidden back room of his house, and inside of it is just pictures and memorabilia from every single party he's ever been in. Like, every single one. And it's just these random-ass pictures of random people from random houses he stole over the course of time. And John's just standing there, it's like, why? And his friend replies, I'm trying to remember the exact wording he said. His friend replies, I steal these because you can never replace them. It's like, Jesus. I don't know if I should be proud of that kind of thinking or terrified. Ambassador Polino, what exactly used to be here? That used to be a stack of brand new pamphlets. But it looks like they were all burnt up. I guess we'll just have to reprint them. But no matter how fast we reprint them, they always disappear so quickly. Is the Bobbly's tourism industry really that hot right now? Of course. Although recently the most popular vacation destinations has been the Republic of Borginia. But we refuse to lose to them, so we've been hard at work promoting Babal. Interesting. Well, I've just recently returned from a trip to Borginia myself. Oh, and how did you like it? It was alright. I probably shouldn't bring up the fact that I was a suspect on the flight home. Anyways, so there's the safe again. This safe wasn't opened at the time of the fire. You could tell because the inside wasn't burnt, right? Yes, and thanks to the safe's fire resistance, the smuggling evidence was preserved. Aren't safes great? They always hold the wonderful promise of treasures within. Well, this one certainly did have a few inside. He's your favorite comedian? Sweet. He's got a good sense of humor, and he's also got a great delivery, too. After the 7th What's New Pussycat, play 1. It's not unusual. A fireplace, huh? So Babal's office have them too. 2? There's a fireplace in relatively the same location in the Albastian office. However, we found something that I'd rather not recall ever again. I still can't believe that we found that lady's undershirt in the fireplace. If it was that traumatizing, why don't you try creating the memories with this fireplace? You can climb inside and we can play hide and seek. And come out covered in soot? I think not. You really have no sense of fun, Mr. Edgeworth. But I do wonder if this fireplace probably has the same trickery going on than the one, as the one that was over in the other room. So I wonder if maybe there's something we're going to find in this fireplace. It appears that this area was heavily damaged by the fire. Yeah, guess we should hurry up and get started examining everything. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Well, the first thing that immediately jumps out at me is the fact they have ink. There's a bottle of Bobbly's ink on Mr. Cohen's desk. And it looks like there's still a lot of ink left inside. The seal is unbroken, so the fire probably couldn't get into the bottle to burn up the ink. Thank God. Hey, Mr. Polino, it looks like your precious Bobbly's ink is alright after all. What is it? That's odd. What's odd? Ambassador, what do you mean by that? It's just that there's something strange about the ink. Would you mind elaborating on that statement for me, please? Oh, and now we can talk to him. Okay, first off, though. Anything else going on this table? So I guess embassy phones are just like normal phones, huh? Well, what did you imagine them to look like? I thought the balls would look like a flower and the receiver would look like a butterfly. That way it looked like the butterfly receiver was sucking nectar from the flower base. If any country had a flower phone, it would be Albas, don't you think? Oh, then maybe the phone I envisioned would have been from when they were Cadopia? There's really no point in asking me about something that never existed in the first place. You know what you lack, Mr. Edgeworth? Curiosity and imagination. I'm more of a realist than anything. Alright. There's only one book left standing here. Treasures of the World. Wait, what? Let me see that! Uh-huh. I see. Ah! The most important part was blackened by the fire. What cruel fate! Why? Looks like the map of where the treasures are located has been burnt. Stop thinking about going on a crime spree. Manny Cohen. His name is written here on this nameplate. Why would you put a nameplate with your name on it if you're in your own office? I suppose it's to inform people in case they walked into the wrong room by mistake. But do you think maybe it's also there to remind you of your own name if you forget? If you're that spacey and you're a CEO... Actually, no, that can make sense for a few CEOs I know, but yeah. Well, either way, it's never a bad thing to sit a nameplate on one's desk. We got something over here. It looks like a bunch of flyers with coupons attached to them. Babal sure gives away a lot of different coupons. Maybe I should create one of my own. I could call it the Great Thief Coupon. And what kind of discount would you need? Would that net you? The 5-finger kind. What else? And I'd steal an extra thing or two from the bearer. Things such as the truth. What else would I steal? What I wouldn't give to have a mountain of your coupons right about now. Alright, and then there's this book. It looks like a bunch of... Oh, it's flyers. A bunch of flyers with coupons attached to them. Oh, wow, that's all this is? Okay. Never mind, then. Okay, it appears we got ourselves a chair. That looks like a very comfortable chair. Well, not anymore. It looks very broken now. Well, it doesn't look all that broken, so why don't you try sitting on it? No, I'd better not. It's very important that we preserve the crime scene at all times. Wait, but you're always touching all sorts of things at crime scenes. That's because I am a prosecutor, and it's a part of my job to examine things. And my job is to be a great thief. Which is exactly why you are not allowed to touch anything. Some major contradictions involved in his logic. Oh, also, I can use logic here. I wonder for what. Maybe it has something to do with what I need to talk to you about. Hello. Now then, Ambassador, I'd like to ask about your movements before the fire broke out. Before the fire? Which fire are you talking about? Which one? There was more than one tonight? I see. I guess you didn't hear about it. We had 2 fires here at the Bobbly's embassy tonight. What a bother all that was. Wait, but the only fire we know about is the one after the Jammin' Ninja show. Well, the first occurred at the start of the Jammin' Ninja show. Luckily, only the 4th and 5th floors of our embassy caught the fire. Not wanting to cause a panic amongst the theatergoers, we decided to keep it internal. Then the fire after the Jammin' Ninja show was the 2nd one of the night? Exactly! So the fire I witnessed was the 2nd one. Come to think of it, didn't Detective Bad make a reference to the first fire? I'm trying to remember. When was this photo taken?
Apparently right after the fires, when the 4th and 5th floors were put out.
I suppose this means that the photo was taken just after the first fire was put out. Okay, good to know that info. So then, what was the extent of the damage in the 2nd fire? The 2nd fire was contained to this floor, the 3rd floor. I think it was leftover embers from the fire on the floors above it that caused it. That's a... how should I put this? A very bad stroke of luck. My office on the 5th floor, Manny's office here. And Manny himself, all gone in the blink of an eye. That is a shame, and oddly convenient. I feel so sorry for you, Mr. Polino. Oops! Oh, look at me going on and on. Now then, what was it you wanted to ask again? We were discussing what your actions and whereabouts for today were. And if you happen to know what Mr. Cohen's actions and whereabouts were as well. Yes, very well. Let's see. I've been quite busy all day from morning until now. First I woke up and then I brushed my teeth. After that I had a roll for breakfast. Goddamn. Fascinating. How about if you just skip to the relevant parts for me? Oh, you'd like a condensed version? Oh, all right, I can do that for you. Good God. All right. So, what did Mr. Cohen and you do this morning? Well, originally we were supposed to meet and shake hands with the Jammin' Ninja, but Manny and I wanted to turn it into a photo op, so we were tidying up his office. You helped clean Mr. Cohen's office? Why were you not cleaning your own? I like Paulino. Yeah, he seems like a nice guy. I don't know. I've played certain missions where nice guys turn into horrible beasts, so we'll see. Oh, I think I forgot to mention this, but my office is currently undergoing renovations. Well, now it's some permanent renovations now that there is some fire damage. But, which is why both the primitive statue and the Babalu's knife set are down here. I see. Oh, but the tidying didn't take much, really. We just burned some files we no longer needed and expired coupons in the fireplace. I bet cleaning up the fireplace must have been a real pain, though, huh? Oh, about that. I kind of forgot to clean the ashes out. I guess I'm up a creek without Manny here to get angry at me. An ambassador like yourself has been on the receiving end of a secretary's anger. No, it was very good at being very mad. Why, even just this morning, he got mad at me. I spilled some Vobbly's ink onto the back wall, and when I was burning the files, you see, and he got mad at me, saying that I should treat the ink with more respect. Boy, what a slave driver. Apparently, orders go up the chain of command around here. Getcha. That's about it for what we did this morning, just some cleaning. Don't tell me you had no other work to do, being an ambassador and all. Might have been a slow morning, I don't know. Could have got it, I don't know. It's sort of like when you don't get any form of bills or any kind of spam or anything to that degree, and you look in your inbox one day, and it's like, somebody talk to me. It's so boring. Now then, if you could tell me what you and Mr. Cohen did this afternoon? Well, Manny and I went down together for the Theatrum Neutralis. We had to be there for the start of the Steel Samurai stage show. After the show started, I went back to my office on the 5th floor alone. So they were together until the start of the Steel Samurai show. A little while later, after I had straightened myself up a bit, I returned to the theater, because I was to take part in the photo op on stage at the end of the show. There was a commemorative photo up at the end. It was a fantastic photo of the three of us, Ambassador Alba, the Steel Samurai, and myself. After the photo shoot, I went back to my office on the 5th floor to prepare for my handshake photo op with the Jammin' Ninja. He seems to be rather overworked for an ambassador. When I got to my office, that's when the first fire broke out, and I escaped down the stairs. My office was completely destroyed, but thankfully no one was hurt. I admit I ran away from the first fire, as fast as my legs could carry me. But during the second one, I pitched in and helped the embassy staff put it out. So you didn't see Mr. Cohen again after the start of the Steel Samurai show? Yes, that's right. The next time I saw him, he was lying there in an eternal sleep. I see. Ambassador Paulino, I thank you very much for your help. I'm sorry I couldn't be of more assistance, Mr. Edgeworth. If there's anything else, please don't hesitate to ask, all right? Right. Let's ask about your freaking ink. I wonder if you might tell me what you noticed about Mr. Cohen's bottle of ink? I just thought of it right now, but during the second fire, Manny was worried about his office, so he came rushing back for it. I called out to him, and when I received no reply, I used my spare key to open the door. But when I did, I was greeted by roaring green flames. The flames were so big that I wasn't able to see into the room at all. Green flames? The fire was green? What was the cause? Well, wood crystal oil burns green when it's lit, as you can see by this lantern. And the Bobbly's ink is made from the same oil, which means it would also burn green. You know, I too had thought it was Manny's ink that had caught on fire. So that's why I was surprised to find out it was still a bottle of ink left on his desk. The case of the perplexing green flames. Talk about a mystery! What exactly was it that caught fire in here? Good question. What would be the most likely thing that would catch fire that was green? I mean, it's either oil or ink. One of the two. And there would have to be enough of a surplus that there would be enough green fire to just catch the whole thing on fire. Can I take a look at the windowsill? You can see the Albastian embassy through this window. So, where were you when you were investigating over there, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, you can see from here. I was there on the 5th floor. That's where Damask II was killed. What? You don't mean the Damask II? Poor guy. As a fellow second-generation thief, I can't just turn a blind eye to this. Even though Damask II was merely an imposter of the original? A little bit disappointing, if you would say so. Is there anything else involved with the chair? Probably not. Though, yeah, I do need to use logic in order to deduce stuff, though. Yeah, I think that's everything in this room. Pretty sure. Let me take a look at my logic. Okay, we have two things. Ambassador Alba's office fireplace is connected to the neighboring room's fireplace. Renovations. The Bonopolis embassy is undergoing renovations from top. I don't see a connection between these two things. So I feel we need a little more info than that. Oh, right. I was going to inspect the statue, wasn't I? I don't think I have done that. So this is the real Primadou statue. This is really valuable, right? Back off, sister! That's what they say. Look at her bounce back and forth. Kay, you're not seriously considering the theft of the statue, are you? No way, Mr. Edgeworth. I wasn't thinking about anything like that. I was just calculating in my head how much the statue was worth. That sounds mighty suspicious to me. Is that everything? Shit. I guess I didn't check the knife rack again, but we still don't know where the blade of the Bobbly's knife went. Could it be that the killer walked away with it? Maybe. I've seen the I've seen the flower. I've seen this pile. Or did I see the flower? The national symbol of a ball is drawn here. There's nothing especially strange about it. Is it just me, or did the butterfly gain an antenna since we last saw it? Even if it did, would it really have any bearing on our case, Kay? Did it have an antenna? I don't see. Sure there isn't anything else with this thing? Nope. So I guess the only thing I can think is that this table has not been inspected all the way. And I don't have any sort of, you know... I can't find some kind of contradiction, so I guess I probably... Oh, right, this door is open. There we go. It would appear that the desk also fell victim to the fire, but it doesn't look too damaged. Ooh, I think we can rifle through the drawer a bit. I suppose we really should take a look. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Oh, oh my god! This is a rather unusual shape for a notepad. I suppose this must be another souvenir from somewhere. But the shape of it... Okay, I know I need to deduce on that, but hey. It seems that the contents of this drawer survived the fire rather well. Now that's a sturdy desk. I guess that's the value of solid wood construction. Solid mahogany. Let's see if there's anything useful left in here, Mr. Edgeworth. I got several other pens, but I don't... No, nothing. Okay. Deduce. Oh, I'd say it's connected to some evidence, sir. Damask the Second's note. The shape of this notepad matches the shape of this note we found. Hey, you're right. What is it? It looks like something straight out of Monument Valley. Oh, yes, that notepad is a souvenir from somewhere in your country. We've been collecting them for the purpose of studying them, you see. Yes, I do. You seem to be quite passionate about it. Oh, would you like to see my souvenir collection? Oh, I'd love to show it to you. Are you sure they haven't been burnt to a crisp by the fires? Ambassador Polino, I wonder if you might recognize the handwriting on this note. This looks like Manny's handwriting. I see. In that case... Oh, did you figure something out? This note was found in Albast. Specifically, it was found being firmly grasped by the murdered Damask II. Damask II? Then this note... Yes, it was a request from Mr. Cohen for Damask II to steal the Primadeus statue. What? Manny tried to steal Albast's Primadeus statue? We would know for sure if we could run a handwriting analysis. Ambassador, do you have any documents that were handwritten by Mr. Cohen? Yes, I can gather a few and give them to you. I'll have to ask Detective Gumshoe later to run the analysis. I can't believe that Manny would even think of doing something like this. Do you have any idea as to why he would have requested the theft of the statue? There is one possibility, but mind you, it's just my personal speculation. Anything you can tell me would be of great help, Ambassador. Aha! More talks. Right. Why did he do this job? I believe that you said you might have an idea as to why Mr. Cohen hired Damask II. Actually, I fear it may be my fault. As I was telling you earlier, we were to determine which statue was the real one as a part of today's event. But because of the Yatagarasu and the fire here, that got cancelled, didn't it? I'm actually relieved the rest of the event has been cancelled. For you see, Babal's statue, well, it's just a replica. It's only a model. And did Mr. Cohen know that about Babal's Primadeus statue? Of course he knew! That's why he was the only person I could consult with. We'd have to do something once our statue was revealed as a replica. And as to be expected, I was very nervous today, as this would impact our country's authority. Yes, I understand. Well, when I told Manny my concerns, he said, "Let me handle it. It'll be all right. I'll find a way to make sure you're the ambassador of the reunited Cordopia." At the time, I thought he was just trying to cheer me up. But when I saw that note, I realized he was serious. Mr. Cohen conducted a lot of business behind your back. I assume he did all that to ensure that you are the next Cordopian ambassador? But why was he trying to so hard, I wonder? He was so much better at getting things done than I ever was or will be. I don't know the answer to why he was trying so hard yet, but I suspect he had an ulterior motive in mind beyond just simple kindness. Probably to frame him for some bullshit. Gumshoe! Oh, here you are, Mr. Edgeworth. What's up? Detective Gumshoe, have you collected the information that I requested? Yep, got it all right here, sir. Here you go, Kay. Feel free to take a look. It's for you, after all. What is all this, Gummy? It's all the information on this room that I got from the embassy and Interpol people. Now we know exactly how this room was before and after the fire. Good work, Detective. Oh, it was nothing, sir. I'm an expert at getting people to talk. Yeah, I'm sure that the longer he rattles his mouth, the more people just want him to leave. Wow, you two remind me so much of my father and Uncle Bad.
What do you mean?
As prosecutor and detective, your dynamic is just like theirs back in the day. How sweet. Well, don't you worry. I'm gonna find my own wonderful partner someday. And when I do, I'm gonna become a good Yatagarasu. Just like my father, right?
Please don't ask me questions to which I have no answers to, Kay. However, I can say that it is truly a wonderful thing to find a partner you can trust.
You bet. So, what now, Mr. Edgeworth?
Well, I'd like to ask you for a favor.
Yes?
That gadget, Mr. Thief, is it? That thing you call your secret weapon?
Oh, you mean Little Thief? You're coming to rely on it, aren't you?
I don't need a crutch like that. I'm only asking because I need it for the investigation. From the information Detective Gumshoe gathered and the ambassador's testimony, I'd like you to please recreate this room as it was during the third floor fire.
You got it. All right, here we go. Dark skies of evening, when no other bird dares take wing, one alone remains all seeing. Now witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. This should be fun. Oh dear, look, it's green fire.
It seems there are other things besides what the ambassador mentioned that I have changed. It's possible that we might find the escape route the person Kay saw use as well. What is this? Is it some sort of light show I was not told about?
This is the power of a true vigilante. It's recreating the room with the info I inputted.
Really? This is certainly one interesting device you have there, Miss Faraday. I believe it's about time we return to our investigation.
Right. This immediately catches my mind.
These must have been the large green flames Ambassador Polino saw.
Flames like these, it's no wonder he couldn't get in.
Kay, by the time you came into this room, had the fire already been put out?
Yeah, the fire died out or something by that time.
Then this fire in here only burned from the time the fire started on the third floor until the Yatagarasu appeared and caused a stir in Babal, I suppose.
I guess Mr. Polino was just lucky enough to run into his fire as it was burning, huh?
Yes, you could put it that way. And since you were the first to discover the body, we can assume that no one else entered the room until that time. No one other than the person you were chasing, of course.
I knew it. That person I saw was definitely up to no good. I mean, that person could even be Mr. Cohen's killer.
That is very likely to be the case. After all, that person came into this room before you, and must have chosen this room precisely because they knew no one would be in here.
Okay, then maybe the green fire was where it was to prevent... was where it was to prevent anyone from coming in? But then, what did the person set on fire to make the green flames?
Well, whatever it is that person burned, it made a rather sizable fire.
And since the fire's green, well, we've seen something that burns green, right? It's a bit tinier than these flames, but you get what I mean.
Yes, and I do believe that you are thinking is exactly why these flames are green.
Which fire-related piece of evidence burns the same color as these green flames? Well, I mean, the silhouette lantern has oil in it that burns green. I know that the oil burns green. Doesn't actually say it burns green, though, so I'm gonna say this.
This silhouette lantern, its green flame comes from the wit crystal oil it's burning.
Yeah, that's the fire I was thinking of, too. I love the green it gives off.
I think we've now established that the green flames were caused by white crystal oil. Furthermore, we know that there is only one other thing made from wit crystal oil.
Ah, you mean the thing Mr. Polino was mistaken about, right?
Yes, precisely. As we found out earlier in our investigation.
I don't get it. Can you fill me in, sir?
Fine, I suppose. I'll explain it in a way that even you can understand.
This is the thing that, made from wit crystal oil that Ambassador Polino was mistaken about. I see they're adding extra questions just so that they're making sure I'm paying attention. Bobbly's ink is made from wit crystal oil. Oh, so it should burn the same color as the flames in the lantern, right? Yes, precisely. However, the green flames in this room were not from a bottle of Bobbly's ink. Because we found the ink Mr. Cohen used on this desk, right? Yes, however, we know that Mr. Cohen was smuggling the ink in massive quantities. Now, what do you suppose he made using all that ink? I believe what he made with that ink is the answer to what gave birth to the green flames. Oh, yeah, I'm beginning to really feel the energy coming from you, Mr. Edgeworth. It would appear that I've finally found it. The smuggling ring's real goal. Made of Bobbly's ink, this is the source of the green flames. Well, I would say the ink, but... Though I do wonder... Passion flowers. 2 large flowers in bloom. Vines are supported by stakes. Still growing. Meh. Now, question. I mean, in all likelihood, it's they're probably trying to... This is the source of the green flames. Well, we have stated that there was no other bottles of Bobbly's ink aside from the one that was currently sitting on the desk. But we know that they are smuggling this in large quantities. Runs on wit crystal oil. So it's made out of Bobbly's ink. Clearly. This is the source of the green flames. So, wait. I wonder if maybe they burned the counterfeit bills because it has Bobbly's ink in it. There we go. That's what it was. What would consume that green of a volume of ink to make? That would be the counterfeit bills that the smuggling ring made and are circulating in Zhengfa. You're kidding! You're saying that it was Mr. Cohen who made the counterfeit bills? I am. I believe you could even go as so far as to say he stole Babal's printing press. Ambassador Mr. Cohen had permission to freely use the printing press, correct? Why, yes, and I do remember seeing him use it in the middle of the night. But never did I think he was using it for such a foul deed. Ambassador, because of your secretary's crimes, you will need to be investigated as well. Yes, I suppose so. We've caused a bit of trouble for a few countries, haven't we? It's my duty to search out all who shielded Mr. Cohen and concealed his crime. For they are the ones who started the fire in order to destroy the evidence. Well, good thing I had that brain blast, because I was thinking, like, what else is made out of Bobbly's ink? Ip! Okay. So we got a couple of things. Oh, hello, the clock has been moved. This grandfather clock. It was apparently in a different position before the fire. According to the staff members, the clock was flush against the wall before the fire, sir. Which means that most likely it was moved by someone during the fire. Assuming you're innocent, I will get you a good lawyer. We'll see. I don't know, this guy has always been kind of shifty for me, so I don't know if I want to sick Phoenix on him. Speaking of which, it's totally 11 o'clock now, but I don't hear any chiming. That's odd. It was still chiming right on the dot of every hour this morning. Maybe the fire damaged its internal mechanisms or something? Ambassador Polino, may we take a look inside that clock? Sure, I'll go right on ahead. Detective Gumshoe, you could please inspect the insides of this clock. Yes, sir. I'm on it. Mr. Edgeworth, I found this inside, sir. Ooh, wire. It looks like a length of wire. So this is what caused the clock to stop chiming. But what was the long length of wire doing inside this clock in the first place? Well, clearly, Agent 47 was here. Clearly. Why would someone do this to such a valuable clock? Sounds like it wasn't Mr. Polino that put the wire in there. Could be lying. Then perhaps it was Mr. Cohen's killer who did. Alright, now we got knives. Looks like one of the Bobbly's knives was already missing before the fire began. So it would seem, especially since the other two knives' handles were burned away. The remaining handle was swapped out with the handle from the real murder weapon. Emma Ball's national treasure was stolen. Poor Babal, don't you think? I'm not sure I would lump the replica statue in with the rest of Babal's woes. Okay, well, we got the broken thing down there, but first of all... So, Babal is really into pushing their tourism industry, huh? Yes, it would appear that way. You know, I'd really love to take a trip. Hey, why don't we... Oh, yeah, sorry, wrong voices. I'd really love to take a trip. Hey, why don't we take one after this case? Do you already have a destination in mind? Well, ideally, I'd like to go someplace where I can continue my thief training. Well, if you want to learn that fine art of stealth, perhaps you should visit the studio where they make the Gem and Ninja TV show. Hey, that's actually a really great idea, Mr. Edgeworth. I can't believe she took me seriously. Alright. So we got a flag up here. Fireplace, huh? So Babal's office have them too. Two? Fireplace, relatively same location, Albaste office. Found something there rather than recall. Alright, yeah. But there's flag. Well, whoopity-whoop. Come on. Okay, so we see that the awning's back now. Nope. We can see the Albastian embassy through here. Okay, what about the chair? Very comfortable chair. Doesn't look all broken. No, I'm not going to sit in it. Boy, really, is all this corner of the room just the exact same lines of dialogue? Holy shit. Exactly why you're not allowed to touch. Okay. Fine. So, I guess that means... There doesn't seem to be anything particularly different with the statue setup. So, I guess I'll take a look at what's here on the floor. It's the charred remains of a fallen ceiling fan. Oh, I've seen a few of these before. Spin around and play music. No. That's the spinning bass thing. You spin me right round, baby, right round. Ah, derp. I would like to actually examine the ceiling fan, but I don't think that's possible. Although that ceiling fan does seem just to be a little bit wonky. And there's the national symbol of the ball. I feel like I'm missing something. Like I should be investigating a piece of evidence that I haven't thought about. I took a look at the clock. Took a look at the fire. Okay, you got something for me? Ready for a review on how to use Little Thief? Okay, here. Oh, no, I don't. Outlined in yellow are things not present in our time, but were in the past. Things outlined in a dotted line are now things that exist now, but didn't in the past. I see. You can examine and interact with replicated people and objects as you normally do. You can even present evidence whenever you find an inconsistency. Oh, and be sure to point out mistakes in the recreation with evidence, too. I think I remember now. Thank you for the refresher, Kay. If there's something you don't get about Little Thief, feel free to ask anytime, okay? What about the investigation? Anything that... I've inputted all the info we got from Gummy and Ambassador Polino. With this recreation, you should be able to tell what changed because of the fire. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, let's try and investigate in this room one more time. Yes, let's. In order to find out what truly happened here in this room, we will need to gather more information from this room. It's time to take another look. I already have. Looks like it was quite the fire, huh? Yes, it appears that the flames spread fairly quickly to some of the other rooms as well. Yeah, but thanks to Gummy's info, I was able to recreate this room. Plus, the burnt stuff is still lying around, so you can check those as well. Stayed in this room before and after the fire. I can probably obtain some new information by comparing the differences. Okay. Well, perhaps I've completed my logic now. Nope. But I'm taking the assumption that that's how we finish this up, though. Okay, well, what about you, Gumshoe? Anything? Detective, you took part in the initial Babal investigation, correct?
Yup, sure did. I also helped put out both fires, sir. But that first fire took me by surprise. I had a tough time escaping the 5th floor. First, I tried the elevator, but I guess someone else had the same idea because it was in use. If I hadn't remembered to use the stairs at that point, I would been burned to a crisp.
And also, you had proven you have no brain.
Wait,
that's odd. We always warn our staff that in the case of a fire, it's dangerous to use the elevator.
Oh?
Maybe someone wrote it in a fit of panic. Detective, did you see the Yatagarasu that came into the Bababali's embassy at all?
I didn't personally. And the other staff members told me they never got a good look at the person either, sir.
I wonder if you could tell me a bit more about what you discovered, Detective.
Ooh, info. The second fire broke out around the time the Yatagarasu was spotted in Albast. That's also when a suspicious person was spotted in Babal, which created some panic.
So no one was able to get a good look at this Yatagarasu that entered Babal?
Yeah, all they saw was a mysterious person wearing a long coat. But that's not enough to make a positive ID, you know?
Still, it was enough to make the people who received the calling card panic even more. A person in a long coat. Sounds like the exact same person I saw. The Yatagarasu that appeared in Albast was proven to be just a fabrication, a shadow. In light of that fact, the Yatagarasu that appeared in Babal is also suspect. You can't be serious! Not when we're this close to capturing the fake. I mean, Callisto, you... So the Yatagarasu appeared, caused mass confusion, killed Mr. Cone, then disappeared. Weird. By the way, Detective, why did you not chase after the Yatagarasu?
I did, but, well, this embassy's huge, sir. I got separated from the other staff members I was with, and I was lost for a while there.
You didn't even memorize the layout of the building you were to guard, Detective?
I'll be sure to do that from now on, sir. But, you know, it was thanks to me being lost that I was able to come to Kay's rescue.
Oh, is that a fact?
Yeah, it was when I was lost and wandering around in the 3rd floor hallway, sir. When I heard her scream, I headed towards it right away.
Ah, it's probably from when I found Mr. Cohen's body.
Yeah, I thought it sounded like her, so I got real worried and ran as fast as I could.
And it was thanks to Gummy that Miss h-hhaa wasn't able to take me away. He covered for me until you got here, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, I see. So he can be useful once in a blue moon.
Still, it's too bad that Agent h-hhaa got here before I did.
I wonder where Agent h-hhaa was before you found her here.
Well, just before I got to this room, I saw her coming out of the room next door.
Weird. Agent h-hhaa mentioned something about chasing the Yatagarasu herself earlier.
Well, she apparently helped in putting out the first fire. Then during the second fire, I heard she was busy chasing the Yatagarasu.
She seemed to be very dedicated. She seems to be a very dedicated agent. You would do well to learn from her.
Why are you pointing at me when you say that, sir?
Because I'm pointing directly into your face, Detective. Alright. We've examined everything in this office, but there's one thing that bothers me. Perhaps I should ask Ambassador Paulino about it. Nice hint. Ambassador Paulino, there is something I'd like to ask you about.
Yes?
About this office, It appears to me to be very similar to Ambassador Alba's office. For example, the location of the fireplace and the position of the grandfather clock. Ah, that's right! You've also paid a visit to the Albastian side of the embassy. Our two embassies actually used to be one. Yes, I know. Even the pamphlet mentioned that. Which is why the building is bilaterally symmetrical. That seems to be a whole lot of extra amount of... Like, you gotta be coordinating with both sides, but also hating each other at the same time. Why would you put so much effort? So, no matter which room, the location of the fireplace and the like are exactly the same. Even where the yard is located is the same, as my room is currently under renovation. We worked hard to make Manny's room look like the ambassador's office. You mean for your handshake photo op with the Jammin' Ninja? Yes, that's right. I mean, what's a photo like that worth if it's not taken in the ambassador's office, right? Yet another odd expression of Babal's obsessively compulsive spirit... Wait, competitive, rather. Obsessively compulsive disorder. Spirit with Albast, I take it. Thank you, Albassador. That piece of information is all I needed to connect the dots. Connect what dots? Well, it did. Anyway, I'm glad I was able to be of some help. So... Oh, dear Lord. So I think now we could probably do some connections. Because this used to be one... Okay, offices, the two sides are symmetrical. Fireplace is connected to the neighboring room's fireplace. Interesting. Okay. The Bobbly's embassy is undergoing renovations from top to bottom. She was in the room next to Mr. Cohen's office up until she tried to arrest Kay. Oh, hello. That could be connected. So, let's try this. Okay, so bilateral. Because this used to be one embassy, offices on the two sides are symmetrical. And then Ambassador Alba's office fireplace is connected to the neighboring room's fireplace. So let's connect those two and make the assumption that the other fireplace is also connected. Yep. The Albastian and Bobbly sides of the building are symmetrical to each other. As we know that to be fact, then this room's fireplace may also hide a secret passageway. A secret passageway? In Albast, the fireplace turned out to have a revolving back wall. A revolving wall? Sounds like something out of a ninja house. Wow, there was a trick like that built into the fireplace, sir? What? This embassy holds that kind of secret? There seems to be a lot about this room and... Wait, that you don't know about, Ambassador. I guess it's time to pay the bill for letting Manny do so much work for me. Please, I really want to know about the real Manny and what you know about this room. What are you waiting for, Mr. Edgeworth? Let's get to the bottom of this! Agreed. And my first thought is that it's likely the killer used the revolving fireplace. Interesting. Looks like just another fireplace, doesn't it? So how do you turn it again? In Albast, I had to push where the X was on the far wall of the fireplace. Oh, I see an X back there. Let's see what happens when I push it. You scared me, sir. There's something about this fireplace that lies in contradiction to the facts. But we found an X where you thought there'd be one, right? We did, but that's not what I was referring to. Something is missing from this scene. What does the contradiction mean for us? I won't rest until I have inspected every specimen tab. There's wood in the fireplace? All I see inside this fireplace is starter wood. That's odd. It doesn't match up with what Mr. Polino said earlier. What's the meaning of this contradiction? Okay, so clearly that's the contradiction. I feel like the main contradiction would be the fact that this entire place would be on freaking fire. Let's take a look. The contradiction in this situation would be the fact that... spilled Bobbly's ink onto back walls while burning files in fireplace. Yeah! So, wouldn't there be ashes or something to that degree in this fireplace? Ambassador Polino, you said that you burned some old files in the fireplace today, correct? Yes, I burned quite a few files in the morning, actually. And after you did, you forgot to clean out the ashes from the fireplace, correct? That's right, but why are you asking? And why are you making such a scary face? I'm sorry. I admit I'm a bit intimidating when I'm serious. In any case, take a good look at this fireplace and tell me what you find odd about it. Let's see here. Where did all the ashes go? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Edgeworth?
You don't really think that Ambassador Polino is lying, do you?
No, there's no reason for him to lie. And I don't believe his testimony is wrong either. It is the fireplace that is causing the contradiction. Kate, I wonder if you might update the fireplace data for me? Yeah, got it. I'll add the ashes from the burnt files and... Sounds like we've pretty much figured everything out now, huh? Well, it was nothing. All I did was follow where our leads led us. Oh, I sense it coming on. You're about to dazzle us again, alright? Right?
Oh, you mean that? Well, it's what Mr. Edgeworth is known for, you know.
There's really no need for you two to dance around the name of what I'm about to do. Contradictions. I already checked this area earlier, but never hurts to take... Alright, yeah. So, clearly, now there is ashes. The ashes... Ashes Ambassador Palino left here have disappeared. If we follow where this piece of information leads, we should begin to see the truth. It's time to use your secret weapon, right?
Yeah, go on, sir. Use your special skill.
I'll ignore your strange phrasing for now and focus on the information we have instead. Just a little further, I can sense the truth lying on just the other side of this. I mean, technically we could push this now, couldn't we? If we push this X mark, the fireplace wall should turn.
A revolving fireplace wall? That's real neat, sir. We should hurry up and...
And of course, they're not going to allow me. Something I'd like to test. Tell you later, detective. So, yeah, making the assumption that now it's time for logic. So, it's possible someone used the revolving fireplace. Okay. The ashes that should still be in the fireplace are missing. Where did they go? Possible someone used the revolving fireplace wall. I feel like, yeah, if there was ashes in there, there's a good chance that the ashes were probably somehow pushed on the other side of the wall, maybe by using the fireplace revolving door. There we go. You know, the funny thing is that the entirety of this game all revolves around logic. And unfortunately, as long as the logic is sound, it's real easy to piece things together. As long as you've actively gone and researched everything and looked at all the nooks and crannies. So, in a way, it almost feels a little easier than Ace Attorney because sometimes you have got to leap off of a freaking bridge of logic before you can figure it out. The reason as to why the ashes are missing is simple. It's not because someone cleaned them up, right? No, because even if someone did sweep them up, the fireplace is too clean for that. Ambassador Polino said that he spilled some Bobbly's ink while he was burning the files. And yet there's not a trace of the spilled ink on the back wall anywhere. Well then, I don't know what happened. Well, I'll tell you what happened. The two sides were switched. By using the revolving fireplace wall, the ashes were moved into the neighboring room. Which means that this is a clear indication that the fireplace was used. Got it. Then you mean the person I was chasing disappeared from this room through there? Yes, I believe the person you were in pursuit of is Mr. Cohen's killer. And after committing the murder, escaped through the fireplace. Wow, Mr. Edgeworth, you figured out the killer's escape route. I have, but this is only the beginning. Now we have to chase the killer down. Well, don't you worry. Person K was chasing used the fireplace to escape into the room next door. Sheena's location. She was in the room next to Mr. Cohen's office up until she tried to arrest K. I'd call that a connection. If the killer used the fireplace in this room to escape into the next, then it's only logical for us to talk with the person who was in the neighboring room. Well, where's she at?
Well, the person that was in the next room was, Oh, it was that person, sir?
Yes, Detective. Agent Sheena. Looks like we've got it all wrapped up. It's looking more and more like Miss Sheena is the killer, isn't it? Let's not jump to conclusions yet. We need to go through what we know so far. She came running straight into the room from the next one and instantly accused you. Furthermore, she claimed that it could only have been you that killed Mr. Cohen. I don't have any proof yet. However, I know she is hiding something from us. Okay then. Why don't we go ask Miss Sheena herself? No, not yet. There's something that needs to be done first. Detective Gumshoe.
Sir, is it my turn to do something, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, I have a two-part special assignment for you. First, I need you to run a handwriting analysis on Damask II's note.
Okay, I'll get the lab boys on that right away.
Second, I want you to see if you can fit through the revolving fireplace wall.
Right now, sir?
No, next decade. Of course now! We need to test our hypothesis first, don't we? Go on, Gummy. You can do it.
Alright, I'm gonna do this like a real man. Here I go, through the fireplace and back.
You shouldn't need to psych yourself up much for such a simple task, Detective. Go, 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 Gumshoe.
Wow, the wall inside the fireplace really did turn.
That's so neat. Now I want to try going through there too.
There really is a secret passageway through there. I had no idea.
It would appear that the ash really was pushed into the other room. Furthermore, the Bobbly's ink you spilled, Ambassador, is there on the back wall.
Okay, here I go, sir.
Detective, I'd like you to go through there under the same conditions as the killer.
Well, there's all that ash and stuff.
And your point is? Now, we're short on time, so if you could please hurry on through.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we pretty much have the whole picture, right? No, not yet. There remains a few more mysteries to solve. Such as the Yatagarasu whereabouts, the other smuggling ring members, the two weapons that made it across the border, the key to Miss Yu stole 7 years ago. In fact, we haven't figured out a thing regarding how Miss Yu was related to these embassies. Mr. Edgeworth, a number of pieces connect in a very complicated way in this case. It's almost enough to make one completely mentally exhausted. What are you saying, Mr. Edgeworth? I thought you were the one who said that it's easy if you follow the leads. Was that supposed to be an impression of me, Kay? If it's info gathering you need, Gummy and I can help with that. Then, all you have to do is show off your fancy schmancy logical deductions. Show off? Does it seem like I'm being boastful when I do that? Tiny bit. Let's not overcomplicate matters, okay, Mr. Edgeworth? We've been so focused like a laser on only what seems strange and out of place. It's no wonder nothing's clicked and we haven't unlocked anything yet. But if we think things through calmly, the answer should come to us. Okay. That's the sort of thing I say to myself when I'm practicing how to unlock padlocks, you know? That is something I hope practice doesn't make perfect for your sake. Yay! Looks like you're back to your straight-laced self again.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm back, sir.
That was quick. Yes, I can see that. Good work, detective.
Looks like you could use that fireplace like a door, sir.
Are you alright, Gummy?
I'm okay. Just a bit of ash and dust, that's all.
Your jacket has gotten quite filthy. I see the hem has practically turned black.
Yeah, well, quite a bit of the unburned ink got on it, sir.
Oh dear. Nobody go near Gumshoe with a lighter. I see. Thank you, detective. You did a fine job. I'll even pay the cleaning bill for that trench coat.
What? Oh, no, sir. I could never... This is just my old coat, sir. If it was a coat I actually cared about, then I'd get it cleaned, but, you know.
I see. Very well, then, as you wish. So, because Gummy was able to climb through the fireplace, we know it can be used, right? And to be used by basically anybody. He is hefty as hell. Yes, but that's not all we learned. We actually learned one other important fact. And that is... I'll have to explain it to you later. So this is the same coat as back then, it's just dirty. That's what I assumed. I'm just like, So this coat was probably tan before it turned green. Ooh, neat. Right now, we need to deal with the handwriting analysis. Detective Gumshoe?
Yes, sir. I'll be back before you know it.
The handwriting analysis on Mr. Cohen's handwriting will take a bit of time. Let us go and wait in the Theatrum Neutralis along with Agent Lang and Agent Sheena. To be continued. I think I'm going to keep going tonight. Although I have no idea how many more chapters there are for this game. Holy crap. I do not know. I think there's been about, like, we've been through 3 so far while playing, like, the 5th chapter. This is, like, the 4th part. March 14th, 11:33 p.m. The Atrium Neutralis lobby. I mean, that does make a heck of a lot of sense. Usually, the final chapter of any of the Ace Attorney games is the longest. Agent Lang. Langsy says, little cubs never little cubs, never do they know the real fury of the elder wolves. These quotes are definitely becoming increasingly difficult to decipher. And what does that mean? It means that you'll never really know how angry I can get. Mr. Prosecutor. Counterfeit bills made with Bobley's ink. They were all of Zhang-Fa denominations. Yes, so I heard from Miss Von Kahl. But we don't know where the play money has gone. They must not have figured out that it was all burned yet. Ever since those things showed up in circulation, my country's economy has taken a big hit. Zhang-Fa is in financial chaos as we speak. Because we can't tell the difference between our own bills and the fakes. But it's not just the money. The citizens are also worried. I've staked the honor of the House of Lang on this. And have come to this land to capture the mastermind behind the whole mess. I investigated how the bills were made and how the ink was smuggled into Zhang-Fa. And I pursued the smuggling ring all the way here. But tonight, this is where the final chapter was written. Despite my frantic efforts to chase the smuggler down, something got to him first. And now I'm called to return home without a single answer. Agent Lang, Don't start. It's not your fault. It's not anyone's fault, Mr. Prosecutor. Ambassador Alba, I'm sorry for all the trouble tonight.
No. It is I who should apologize. It was all because I was not strong enough. If only I was able to think of a better solution. Quercus, you fool! Curse your empty brain!
You're being too hard on yourself, Ambassador. I take full responsibility for tonight. End of story. Gina, let's go. Time to return to our den. Yes. I don't like to admit it, but there's not much else for us to do but go home as well.
Agent Lang, hold it!
Oh, hey! Gumshoe!
You! Wolfman and the secretary lady! Hold it! Objection, pal!
Detective Gumshoe! Have you got the results of the handwriting analysis already?
Yup! And that note was definitely written by Mr. Cohen, sir.
Just as I thought. Good work, Detective. Sweet. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. How long do you intend to hold up for us? Us four, rather? Sorry to have made you wait, but I believe that now everyone is finally here. Agent Sheena, I'd like to ask you something, if you don't mind. Yes? How exactly did you fail to see the Yatagarasu when you were in the neighboring room to where Mr. Cohen was killed? I'd like you to explain that to us. What? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. What are you doing asking her something she didn't see? Agent Lang hasn't touched the Babal investigation at all, so I suppose I will need to explain a few things to him first. Miles Edgeworth, I can't even begin to imagine what's going on in that head of yours. The only thing going on in my head is the pursuit of the truth. Oh, sounds like you have some sort of plan. Very well. I'll supervise you till the end. Is she seriously going to treat me as a subordinate for the rest of the day? You're not trying to pick a fight with my subordinate on some flimsy guess, are you? I'm not trying to pick a fight, and the evidence is hardly flimsy, as you will see. A couple of edgelords here. I should have known that you and I are destined to fight it out to the very end. It would appear that way. Well, I'll prove her innocence. So let's see what you got, Prosecutor Edgeworth. With pleasure. For my opening argument, I'll discuss the Yatagarasu that appeared in Babal, and establish exactly who it was that Kay saw. Synchronized pointing. Agent Lang, I assume you've been briefed on Kay's testimony? You mean the suspicious person in a coat that she saw? That's right. The person, that person is one of the keys to solving this case. The person who pretended to be the Yatagarasu. Pretended? And what do you mean by that? I'll get to that in a second, but first, I want to review what this person Kay saw did. Kay, if you could please explain what the person you were chasing did for us? Okay, you got it. I first spotted the suspicious person near the open-air stage of the Babalese side. I called out to the person, but as soon as I did, that person ran off. I thought it was rather suspicious, so I immediately gave chase. For the sake of argument, let's call this suspicious person the Yatagarasu. Now, please tell us what happened when you chased the Yatagarasu up to the 3rd floor. Can do. I chased the Yatagarasu all the way up to the 3rd floor of the Babalese embassy. It was a pretty straight chase down the hallway until the sudden turn. The Yatagarasu disappeared around the corner, so I did my best to catch up. When I turned the corner, I saw the Yatagarasu run into Mr. Cohen's office. I gave chase and ran into the room. But then I entered the room. It was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I felt something on the ground next to my foot, so I turned on the light. But then... Ah! Who's there? By the time I had turned on the lights, the Yatagarasu had disappeared. When Kay entered the room, the person she was chasing was already gone. Why do you suppose was that, Agent Lang? What do you mean, why do you suppose? Isn't it obvious? The person slipped out through the door behind the girl under the cover of darkness. Sorry, but I know for a fact that the person did escape through that door. Oh, and how do you know that with just certainty? That's easy. If the Yatagarasu had left through that door, they would have run right into this person. Sheena!
Your answer's Sheena?
Yes, because let's consider what would have happened if the Yatagarasu had used the door. When Kay screamed upon discovering Mr. Cohen's body, the Yatagarasu would have run right into Agent Sheena, who was in the next room over. Agent Sheena, would you mind telling us if you saw the suspicious person in question?
No, I didn't see anyone.
You see, therefore the Yatagarasu could not have... Son of a bitch.
It just means that the creep slipped out before Sheena made it out into the hallway.
I doubt that, as there was another person in that hallway. A certain detective. Detective Gumshoe, where were you exactly at that time?
Me, sir? Well, when I heard Kay scream, I ran towards Mr. Cohen's office from the opposite direction of Agent Sheena, sir.
So, Agent Lang, can you explain how someone could have eluded both of them? Even you must concede that under these circumstances, the door was not a viable route.
Yeah.
Way to go, Mr. Hedgeworth. You nailed him with just an explanation of what happened.
Yes, I've eliminated one of the possible escape routes from that room. But this is far from over. I need to make Agent Lang aware as well of yet another possible escape route the Yatagarasu could have taken.
Boy!
No.
I get it. So that's what you were trying to show me. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, let me guess. This is what you're trying to say, right? Because the door was not a viable escape route, then there must have been another way out.
Precisely.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, it's time to bust out our revolving fireplace wall expansion, right? Explanation.
No, not quite yet.
Huh? But why? I thought this would be the perfect time.
The revolving wall on the Bobbly side is known only to 4 people. And if we use this information unwisely, the truth may escape us in the end.
What's with all the whispering over there? Scared I'll figure out your tactics?
Nothing of the sort, Agent Lang. Come, let's continue where we left off.
That smug, haughty attitude of yours. You really rubbed me the wrong way, you know that? Well, no matter. I figured you out already anyway. The only other possible escape route besides the door is the room's lone window. And since an eerie picture of said escape route exists, are you saying that this photo captures the moment of the Yatagarasu's escape?
I guess Detective Bad must have filled him in on the photo. I have to admit that at first I thought the window to be a possible escape route as well. However, I now know that to be impossible.
Now, I realize you may not know this, but humans can't fly.
Of course I know that! That's bloody common sense! Besides, I never said I thought the photo to be of the Yatagarasu's escape route.
I suppose not. Alright then, explain yourself.
The shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu that Kay was chasing after.
You can say whatever you like in whatever language you want, but there's only one language I really understand. The language of evidence.
Very well then. I present to you proof that the person Kay saw is not the same as the one in this photo. Okay. Proof. There's not the same person as the one in the photo.
What would be a defining factor of that?
Well, he specified that it might not be a good time to talk about the revolving fireplace yet, but I don't know. Are we there yet? Not that testimony is nothing. And then there's this pic. Also wet for some reason. Interesting. Samurai dog, that's the proof. Passion flowers? No, that doesn't make it. No, that was on the entire other side, so that would not be proof at all. Proof that the person Kay saw is not the same as the one in this photo. Well, does it have to do with the photo itself, maybe? Well, let me see here. Oh, wait a minute. Interesting. Maybe it has something to do with the sides that this happened on. Maybe. Let me try this. Let me explain to you precisely why the shadow in this photo is not the Yatagarasu Kay saw. Kay spotted the Yatagarasu heading for the 3rd floor during the 2nd fire. However, the photo in question was taken just after the 1st fire. Oh, I see what we're going for. That was kind of just a bluff on my end, but cool. Yeah, way to go! That's twice you bit him in the butt now. We're not done yet. You still have to explain what that shadow is. And how the Yatagarasu escaped. I don't suppose you can answer both, can you? Regarding the photo, I admit that we don't understand what it means quite yet. As I thought. However, the Yatagarasu's escape route? Now, that I can answer. You can? Well then, Mr. Prosecutor, go on, enlighten me. Even if I explain it, you'll try to find some flaw with what I have to say. You were busy heading up the Albastian investigation, correct? In that case, I doubt you'd have much knowledge about the Bobbleys side of the case. So, wouldn't it be best if the leads on that side, Agent h-hhaa, explained it in my stead? h-hhaa's my subordinate. If I don't stick up for her, how can I look her in the eyes and call myself her boss? Bullshit. Lang, it's all right. I can take care of him. h-hhaa. You've shielded me a lot as my boss. But it's time for me to prove my worth. Alright. If you're okay with it, then you have my support. Finally, it's down to just Agent h-hhaa and myself. This is where the battle really begins. Now then, what is it you would like to ask? Let's see. Why don't we start with your movements inside the Bobbleys embassy? Some good old pressing. During the first Bobbleys fire, I assisted in putting out the fire. During the 2nd fire, I was searching for the Yatagarasu that had appeared in Babal. While I was searching, I heard a scream coming from the next room over. Although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch a glimpse of the Yatagarasu. To be honest, I'm actually very skeptical that the girl's Yatagarasu even exists. And that is all I have to say. I'm not lying when I say I saw the suspicious person run into Mr. Cohen's office. Like I said earlier, I have no intention of retracting my testimony. Good. Fuck you. Just to confirm, did you have a partner when you were on your investigation? No, I moved alone. In that case, you have no one to corroborate your alibi, is that correct? Are you calling her suspicious because she was in a room by herself? How pathetic. And it wasn't when Agent h-hhaa tried to arrest Kay under the same rationale? Yeah, stand there and sweat, you bastard. And how about when you accused Larry because he was the weapon's owner? Not that it's unexpected for that useless lump to get into such a situation. Although I suppose it's never a good idea to let mistakes go uncorrected. I will make no excuse for what I did in that situation. Then you should apologize right now for making Kay out to be the killer, pal. I'm sorry. h-hhaa, apologize. I am sorry. It's really okay. I mean, I'm not under suspicion anymore. Right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Well, I never doubted you, not for 1 second.
And the same goes for me. I believe in Sheena.
Then let's put that to the test and see if she is really worthy of your trust.
This promises to be interesting. Somehow miraculously, I have not failed miserably and lost my health. So saving time must happen now. I've just been kind of nervous the entire time I've been playing, because somewhere in the back of my brain I've been thinking, haven't saved, have not saved. I've hit checkpoints, but I have not saved. Alright. First Bobbly's fire, assisted in putting out the fire.
So you helped with the fire extinguishing effort?
I was in charge of the police on the Bobbly side, so I helped them with their work.
Police doing the job of firemen. You really know how to work people.
She sure does. That's because she's one awesome woman who knows how to manage. I guess so. She's always bringing you a business card or scroll at just the right time. To prepare everything before I am ordered to. That is the definition of a secretary.
She's kinda more capable than Agent Lang does. Wait. She kinda seems more capable than Agent Lang, doesn't she? At the very least, she's certainly more capable than you, Detective. I kinda have a feeling you were gonna say that.
Sheena's more than just a capable secretary, you know. Sheena, tell him what other things you're good at. All right. Boy, I could make several dirty jokes because of that, but I'm going to go ahead and not. During the second fire, I was searching for the Yatagaras-YEW that had appeared in Babal.
By the second fire, you mean the one that consumed the third floor of Babal, correct?
Yes. That was when the suspicious person was spotted in Babal. Then you were after the same person in the long coat that I was after. People already have made dirty jokes. Good, then that means I don't have to do it myself. There is no proof that the suspicious person was really the Yatagaras-YEW, because no one was able to get a good look at the person's face.
By the way, how was your team's investigation?
In order to extinguish the fire, water was pumped into the third floor via the windows. So the majority of the investigators conducted their searches on other floors.
Maybe they did, but there was one person who was wandering around lost on the third floor.
When the fire was pretty much out, I moved to investigate the third floor.
And you did that alone?
Yes. While I was searching, I heard a scream coming from the next room over.
So you were in the room next to Mr. Cohen's office?
I already told you I was earlier, as I was examining the neighboring room. I heard that girl's shrill scream. Upon hearing her, I immediately ran towards Mr. Cohen's office.
Wherein you proceeded to arrest her, as I recall.
Yes, I did.
But she was totally innocent, pal. I thought we'd already cleared that up.
And I thought I had already apologized for my behavior. Now, if the tenacious detective would be so kind as to be quiet...
I have to agree. Right now is not the time to take issue with that.
Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
But what I do take issue with is the fact that you didn't see the Yatagaras-YEW, Agent Sheena.
The prosecutors of this country are all so strange. Beep boop, angry robot. Although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch a glimpse of the Yatagaras-YEW.
You were unable to catch even a glimpse despite being in the next room? Is that true?
I really hate to repeat myself.
I'm sorry for inconveniencing you. However, I simply wish to make sure that you are not misremembering something. We wouldn't want you to be accused of lying later on, would we?
Boy, you have got some balls.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, are you calling Sheena's testimony a lie?
Agent Lang, I'm talking with Agent Sheena right now. So I'd appreciate if you wouldn't interrupt us with superfluous comments.
Down, boy.
I felt kind of bad for him. I understand his pain at watching one of his subordinates being accused. However, I cannot turn my eyes from the truth.
Lang, I'm alright. And as for you, I think you should be focusing your doubts on that girl rather than me.
And why is that?
To be honest, I'm actually very skeptical that the girl's Yatagarasu even exists.
Are you throwing Kay's words into doubt again?
Well, she does claim to be the Yatagarasu, right? And she did try to chase down the Yatagarasu, despite being just an average citizen.
Actually, she came here with the goal of capturing the fake Yatagarasu.
That's right, which is why I would never lie about anything related to the Yatagarasu. And I suppose you have proof of that somewhere? Not quite, but even without any, I have people who believe in me, and that's enough. Not really. I see.
Kay's testimony is without flaw, but as for yours, well, let's just say that I find your testimony to be a bit suspicious. There seems to be a very large flaw in her testimony.
Oh? Then why don't you show us using what we found out with Little Thief?
I will, in due time. The escape route of the Yatagarasu that Kay was in pursuit of. If it turns out that it really does lead right to Agent Sheena, then what is it that she is keeping from us right now?
And that's the end of that. So, need to make a plan on what I am pressing on and what I'm presenting on. While I was searching, I heard a scream. Although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch a glimpse of the Yatagarasu. To be honest, I'm actually very skeptical the girl's Yatagarasu even exists. So what part of that would make the most sense to present something? It seems like what we're trying to present is the fireplace at this stage. Though I feel like that's sort of like the final card that you would be pressing and presenting at this stage. But hey, could be wrong about that. There are signs that the revolving fireplace wall on Babal's side has been used. So, during the second fire, I was searching for the Yatagarasu. While I was searching, I heard a scream coming from the next room over. Although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch a glimpse of the Yatagarasu. To be honest, I'm actually very skeptical that the girl's Yatagarasu even exists. Well, although I was in the next room, I was unable to catch a glimpse of the Yatagarasu. I feel like maybe I might be jumping the gun a little bit, because I want to nail her on the whole, the whole fireplace wall thing, but maybe I'm thinking a little bit too far. There's the photo. Button spouts, part of the Rose Garden pool, but that's nothing. That just seems to be sort of like an extra little bit of information. 2 fires broke out in Babal today. Oh, right, yeah. Maybe that's got something to do with it. During the first fire, I assisted putting out the fire. During the second fire, I was searching for the Yatagarasu that had appeared in Babal. Seems kind of weird. Alright, so... interesting. Well... the Wobbly's ink, the knife. I don't know. There's a part of me that seriously feels like it's time to present the revolving fireplace. And on what, though? Oh, hey, it works. Okay. I wanted to be very careful about that. I was not sure.
Being in the room next to Mr. Cohen's office is the problem with your testimony.
Mr. Prosecutor, I don't see what problem you're talking about at all.
Agent Lang, do you recall the secret we discovered about the Albazian office fireplace? You mean how it connects to the office with the room next door? What about it? Well, Albast isn't the only country with secret connecting fireplaces. What? The fireplace in Mr. Cohen's office holds the exact same secret. What? Yatagarasu didn't escape through the door to the room or the window. The escape route was through the revolving fireplace wall and into the next room over. Quick. Now do you see? If the Yatagarasu had escaped into the next room, then the thief would have run straight into Agent h-hhaa. Meaning that it's impossible for her to have missed the Yatagarasu.
I don't trust that lady. Maybe it's the color scheme. Yes. No, reasonable not to trust her. What is the meaning of this, Miles?
Well, would you care to explain, Agent h-hhaa? How you managed to completely miss the fleeing Yatagarasu? Or shall I?
Looks very dark, brutish, Devil May Cry-ish.
You claimed that you were in the next room was okay, your claim that you were in the next room was a lie all along, wasn't it? The truth is, you were the one Kay saw in the coat. Pretending to be the Yatagarasu, and you were the one she chased after. As you tried to lose her, you ran into Mr. Cohen's office and headed for the fireplace. Then you shed your coat in the next room, leaving it there to emerge as Agent h-hhaa. After that, you came back around to place Kay under arrest. Does that sound about right? If not, then speak now or forever hold your peace. How dare you make Kay look like the bad guy when you're the suspicious one, pal?
We're not done. I'm sure we're not done.
Gina.
She is going to fucking snap like a twig. Oh, fuck, no. No! I know what's happening here, shit!
That laugh?
Take off your wig, you bastard!
I remember this irritating laugh. But I'm getting chills down my spine.
It can't be. But it has to be.
Gina, what's wrong with you?
I'm sorry. It was so funny that I couldn't help but laugh.
Funny, you say?
Yes, that you would accuse me of being the Yatagarasu. The prosecutor of this country really are so very strange. Do you think you can get away with this by simply laughing it off? You think I'm taking things too lightly? I think not. It's that prosecutor who is. Look, everything you said earlier is nothing more than mere speculation. Yatagarasu fled through the fireplace. Do you have any proof to back up your claim? If you don't, then you haven't proven a thing regarding the Yatagarasu's escape route.
The tone you're taking with me now has certainly changed.
That's because it's been a while since I've had this much fun. I think I'll let loose, and then we can have a real battle wits.
For an agent of Interpol to show me the true power of her mind, it is a great honor.
Don't underestimate me. I'm not some foolish broad, you know.
Oh, I know. I know, and that is why I won't hold anything back either, as I answer your question.
My question?
Here is your proof that the revolving fireplace wall in Babal was used recently.
And the proof? It has to do with the fact that there were ashes in the fireplace. Trying to remember which one of these was the proof of that. Oh yeah, spilled Bobbly's ink onto the back wall while burning files in fireplace. Left ashes there. Oh boy. I think this was wrong. I'm sorry, but this is really your honest answer to my question?
Yes. According to Ambassador Polino's testimony, he said that he was burning some documents in the fireplace with Mr. Cohen.
Oh?
The ashes of what they burned were left in the fireplace, so they should have been there. However, when we went to investigate the room, the ashes weren't there.
Why is that a problem? Maybe someone cleaned them up?
Unfortunately for you, Ambassador Polino said that he forgot to. And so the question remains, why were the ashes missing? The answer is simple. When the Yatagarasu went through the fireplace wall, the ashes were pushed into the next room by the wall as well. The movement of the ashes that were in Mr. Cohen's office is my proof.
Take me seriously, damn it. I am a real attorney.
And just what is so funny?
Ash as proof? Are you even allowed to submit such flaky evidence in court? Ash is flaky. You still wish to fight us? Of course. Why wouldn't I?
In that case, let's hear your counter-argument.
My counter-argument, huh? This really is just like being in court.
Well, to me, we're simply continuing from where we left off all those years ago.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It doesn't matter if we're at a crime scene or in court. Let's finish this here and now.
I suppose. I have a lot of fun today, but I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap up this absurd case once and for all. Right. In my eyes, all you've proven is that the rotating fireplace was, Jesus, a rotting fireplace. That is probably the most smelly, terrifying thing on the planet. Burnt flesh. In my eyes, all you've proved is that the rotating fireplace wall was used. But you can't really call that proof that the Yatagarasu used the fireplace, now can you? So then, who was it that used the rotating wall? Show me your answer with real evidence. Remember, we've already finished our very thorough investigation, and we found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Cohen's office. And there you have it, my counter-argument.
That's very impressive. She has seen through the fact that I have yet to gather that one piece of evidence. What is it, Kay? I haven't heard a peep out of you in quite a while now.
If you don't think you can handle it, feel free to leave the rest of it to us. But
Kay, pull yourself together. You are the true heir to the Yatagarasu name, are you not?
Maybe.
If you want to steal the truth, then you must never take your eyes off it. This chase you're running to catch the truth, you must see it through to the very end.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're right. I will see this through to the end. So, you go get her for me, Mr. Edgeworth. You put in some effort, damn it.
With pleasure.
Looks like a lack of evidence has left you wide open, doesn't it?
Gina, please, show me you're someone I can trust.
Don't worry. This'll be the deciding match. You'll see.
I'm truly sorry, Agent Lang, but I simply can't allow her to escape me again. Very well then, Agent Sheena. Shall we begin?
I'm ready whenever you are. Oh, Lang, I am going to crush your hopes and dreams. First, though, saves. So again, somehow I have managed to fire on all cylinders and I have not missed once. Actually, no, I missed a little bit earlier, but I did heal. So, there we go. Okay. In my eyes, all you've proven is that the rotating fireplace was used.
It sounds to me like you're saying my explanation is not good enough. But I was able to go through the revolving door myself. So that should be proof enough, even for you, pal.
Looks like you don't quite understand. By the looks, I can guess that you're not all that learned.
You talk about rude. You should watch what you say, pal. Sadly, I can't say I disagree with her on that one.
But you know what I mean, right? You may have proven the fireplace was used, but you can't really call that proof
that the Yatagarasu used the fireplace now, can you?
So you want proof that the Yatagarasu was the one who used the fireplace?
That's right. Well, do you have any? Can you prove that it wasn't the Yatagarasu who used the fireplace? I don't need to prove anything to you.
Objection! That's not how it works. Okay, if you could please not steal my line.
Sorry, but I just couldn't hold it in anymore.
Well, don't fret and leave her to me. All you have to do is sit back and watch.
You may seem to have some wiggle room, but without any evidence, it's meaningless. So then, who was it that used the rotating wall? Show me your answer with real evidence.
It's possible that the Yatagarasu left fingerprints inside the fireplace, but it's a fireplace. I mean, that's a very porous material, bricks.
Sorry, but I had the forensics team check that already. All they found were prints belonging to Ambassador Polino and Mr. Cohen.
Curses! Should have known better than to think the Yatagarasu would have been so careless. But there must be some sort of evidence that we still have yet to find.
I take it you have no further objections? Remember, we've already finished our very thorough investigation.
So Interpol has finished examining the entire Babalese embassy?
Yes, the investigators who weren't allowed into the Albast were incredibly helpful. They all put in great efforts to search for any sign of the Yatagarasu. And yet, despite all that effort, it appears that they failed to notice the lack of ash in the office fireplace. Furthermore, you were the one who inspected that room next to Mr. Cohen's, correct? I needn't notice the ash there in the fireplace of that room, and for that, I am sorry.
You don't need to apologize, Sheena. As your boss, your mistakes are my mistakes. So allow me to apologize for you. I'm sorry.
You know, maybe this guy's not such a bad guy after all.
He apologized for his subordinates and everything. What a great boss.
Stop fluffing him!
Are you saying that I don't do anything for my own subordinates? Well, when was the last time you bought me a Swiss cake roll? Nothing of the sort, sir. You're someone I really respect, sir. Even if you are a bit too strict sometimes. That is only a problem on your end.
Wow, way to be super hard on him in response.
Am I really too strict on everyone? Maybe.
Anyway, Sheena, you didn't find anything in Mr. Cohen's office, right?
That's right. We finished our investigation. And we found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Cohen's office.
So you really didn't find anything?
Yes, as I said, not one suspicious thing. Although, as you already know, we did find the Yatagarasu's key and the documents detailing the smuggling operation, but we still haven't found the blade that belongs to the Babalese knife handler yet.
You see, my subordinates work hard to investigate everything. So there was nothing else to find, alright?
Wow, Agent Lang really sticks up for his people. New scroll.
Langsy says, all men are brothers, and friends become family. So, you see, my people are my family, and their families are my family too.
That's a rather large family you have there.
Yes, but we all know there is always one black sheep in any family. And though it pains me, Agent Lang, you will know the black sheep in your family.
So, do you actually have any proof that the Yatagarasu used the fireplace passageway?
No, I haven't found any yet.
Then what are we gonna do?
There's no need to worry. Because there is a loophole in Miss Interpol agent's argument we can exploit first. The one in charge of the Babalese investigations was not Agent Lang. Which means that with Agent Sheena in charge, it's possible she may have tampered with the evidence. That piece of evidence that we found. If there's one thing I do know, it's that someone tried to hide it from us.
Alright, so very specifically, it has to be a piece of evidence that was very well hidden. Well, let's think back. We used Little Thief in an attempt to try and figure out what the hell was going on in there. Aha, yes, it's the wire. The wire was hidden inside the clock. A good length of wire that was found wound up inside Babal's grandfather clock.
So the question is, why would she hide the wire for any particular reason? My badge! No, it's not the badge, Mario. No. I feel like the wire was hidden for some reason, but why would that happen? What's the reasoning behind that? So let me see. Okay, all you've proved is that rotating fireplace was used, but you can't really call that proof that the Yatagarasu used the fireplace, now can you? So then, who was it that used the rotating wall? Show me your answer with real evidence. You're wrong, it is the badge. I genuinely feel like it's not. Remember, we've already finished our very thorough investigation, and we found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Cohen's office. Well, I don't necessarily have direct proof. Here, hold on a second. I think I know what they're going for here. We found not a single suspicious thing in Mr. Cohen's office. Well, you didn't, but we certainly did. And that was this wire that was sticking in the grandfather clock. Yes! Done.
While you say that you and your agents have finished your thorough investigation, are you absolutely certain that you didn't overlook anything?
Well, aren't we full of ourselves, standing there insulting Interpol's agents?
You better not be insinuating that my men are incompetent, Mr. Prosecutor.
I'd never do that. However, it doesn't change the fact that they did overlook something. I'd like for you to take a look at this length of wire.
What exactly is that supposed to mean?
A length of wire. So what about it?
I'll tell you what. We found this in the Barbalese embassy not long ago.
What?
And we found it wound up inside the grandfather clock in Mr. Cohen's office.
You found that at the scene of Mr. Cohen's murder? Yep.
But this wire wasn't all we found. We found one other very important thing.
There's more?
In Mr. Cohen's office, there were signs that someone had burned counterfeit bills there.
Keep sweating.
What in the...
Hold it.
That evidence was something you found out through that girl's machine, right?
So what if it was?
Ah, that's what I thought.
Oh, don't you pin this on her.
But unfortunately for you, a recreation made by a machine is hardly concrete proof. Among the ashes you found in the room, did you happen to find any counterfeit bills?
No.
You see, so there was nothing in that office. Nothing you can call evidence anyway.
I'm sorry, but I seem you,
oh god, I think this is a typo. I seem to have given you the wrong, oh right, okay. No, I'm just an idiot. Got it.
I'm sorry, but I seem to have given you the wrong impression.
How so?
I don't recall saying that I was presenting evidence of any sort, but rather I was pointing out that your investigation was incomplete, and that this throws doubt on the purity of your investigation into the Yatagarasu.
You still suspect me, I see. All right then, I ask that you point out what part of my investigation is incomplete.
Uh-oh. This seems like a real save-worthy thing. Hold the phone. I'm just doing this right now just to save my own ass in the event I make a mistake. One of those unfixable mistakes in an Ace Attorney game. Okay, go.
The other Interpol agents worked under the command of Agent Sheena. And is it not possible that the reason the person K was chasing chose the third floor was because the person knew there would be no other agents on that floor? Furthermore, we've come to see that Agent Sheena was only pretending to be investigating the Yatagarasu to the point of arresting K. In that case, there is one location that no one has yet to inspect. Your team's investigation was incomplete because they failed to inspect this location.
What about the elevator?
Okay, I'll go check on it right now, sir. Be right back.
We already went over that area with a fine-tooth comb. And I've heard their extensively detailed report about that area as well. I've also heard the reports.
Actually, thinking back on it, I checked out that area pretty well already, too.
I guess that means we really don't need to check that area anymore, right, Mr. Edgeworth? Well, if that is everyone's opinion, then I suppose not. What happened to trusting to your instincts?
Shit. She does have me there.
Team's investigation was incomplete because they failed to inspect the... Alright. No, the place that they didn't inspect was this room, wasn't it? The location, Agent Sheena, is of course the room you claimed to have examined. I believe the room next to Mr. Cohen's office warrants a thorough inspection. Even if you do that, I doubt you'll find anything of use to you there. I will be the one to decide that. Detective Gumshoe!
Yes, sir. I'm on it. I'll be right back after I check out that room next to the office.
See ya! Let's see if anything good comes out of that. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you really think that Miss Sheena is the Yatagarasu?
Yes, if my logic is sound, I believe she is.
Then I'm not gonna let her get away with ruining the name of the Yatagarasu. But can you prove she's the Yatagarasu is the question.
If Detective Gumshoe can find what I'm hoping he will find, then I should be able to.
And just what are you hoping he'll find?
Let's just say this. I had Detective Gumshoe do a little experiment for me earlier.
An experiment? And if that detective has the brains for high science, as if.
It wasn't the mentally taxing. I had him use the same escape route as the Yatagarasu.
And what did you find out by doing that?
First, that it's possible for a person to fit through the revolving wall door. Second, that by going through there, his coat was covered in Ash and Bobbledy's ink.
Who cares what his coat was covered in? It's not worth that much anyway.
Ah, but is it really worth so little? I believe that it's actually quite a meaningful result, the value of which I'm about to prove.
I see.
Mr. Edgeworth, I've found some things you really need to see, sir. Oh, so what are these things that you found? Some makeup, a coat, and a pair of shoes, sir.
You found a coat? You hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? Maybe it's the one the person I was chasing was wearing.
Yes, the possibility does exist. Agent Sheena, were these pieces of evidence not in that room when you examined it?
Unfortunately for you, those aren't suspicious items of any sort. They all belong to me. They were getting in the way, so I stored them in that room.
Oh.
Thank you for bringing them to me. It saved me a trip. May I have them back now?
No. Those items that the detective brought back are incredibly significant. I request that we be allowed to examine them.
They're my personal belongings, so you have no right to touch them without my permission.
I wish to examine them for the sake of the investigation. But if you wish to deny us access to them, Agent Lang, let's hear your opinion on this.
I say, let them look at your stuff, Sheena. Lang! Sheena, let's put it all out in the open. If you're really innocent, then you have nothing to worry about, right? I guess so. All right, go ahead and examine whatever you like. After all, I have nothing to hide.
Good. Now let us begin.
So which of Agent Sheena's belongings are you going to examine, sir? Well, let's go ahead and save. I get the feeling it's probably the coat. But here's the thing. I have an idea about what the a particular coat. I don't know. The coat might not be it, actually. Depending on what I'm thinking here. In fact, I think the coat might not have anything on it at all. If the shoes might, on the other hand, though. Because the shoes would have soot on them. Let's go with the coat.
Let's examine the coat. Yes, sir.
Let's see. It appears you managed to stain your coat rather badly. Agent Sheena, the Yatagarasu that Kay saw was wearing a coat. And I'm beginning to wonder if this stain wasn't created when you went through the fireplace.
No, you have it wrong. That soot probably got on my coat when I was helping the police put out the fire.
And what about this dark substance around the hem of your coat?
Oh, I didn't realize that the hem was that dirty. I'm sure it's just some water mixed with soot from when I was helping with the fire.
I don't think so. You think you can get away with such a transparent lie?
Yeah, don't lie to us, pal. This is the same pattern of dirt that got on my coat when I went through the fireplace.
Your words ring hollow in the absence of evidence, you know. So unless you can prove that the dirt on my coat is from the fireplace...
Which I can.
How? Forensic investigation, you bitch.
You did a great job, Detective Gumshoe.
Me sir, what did I do?
This coat. This is exactly the piece of evidence I was searching for. I'd been hoping to find the coat that the person Kay saw was wearing. And thanks to you, we proved that going through the fireplace would sully a coat.
I don't quite get what you're saying, but I'm happy for the praise, sir.
All that remains is for us to show what the dark substance of the coat hem is.
Oh, and you think you can do that?
Of course I can. This is the dark substance that sullied the hem of the coat.
That would be Bobbly's ink. You harlot. Bobbly's ink?
Yes, this is what will prove that the coat went through that fireplace. According to Ambassador Polino, he burned some files in the fireplace this morning.
You told us about that already, so I don't really see the point in mentioning it again.
My point is that he spilled some ink onto the back wall of the fireplace at that time. If the dark substance on this coat turns out to be Bobbly's ink, it would prove that you and this coat went through the revolving fireplace wall. Sorry to have clipped one of your wings, Yatagarasu, but we're not finished yet.
You have no way of proving whether or not this is Bobbly's ink on the coat hem.
Oh, but I do. And I intend to show that it is ink in a few seconds.
How?
How, you ask? Well, since you don't seem to know, allow me to show you. This is how I will prove that the dark substance on this coat is Bobbly's ink. Burn! We can find out whether that is Bobbly's ink or not by lighting it on fire.
That's how you're gonna prove that's Bobbly's ink?
Yes. If you could please cut a section of the dark stained area for me, I'd appreciate it. Because I will show you here and now what the dark substance is.
Oh god, I really hope this wasn't an expensive coat. Sorry to do this, but I'm gonna have to cut off a bit of your coat.
Go ahead. I wasn't planning to wear it anymore anyway.
Now then, if someone could loan me a lighter or something.
Oh, I got some matches. I always carry them with me so I can light smoke bombs.
Then if I could please have one, Kay, we could get this experiment underway.
And if you're wrong, you owe me a new coat. Yes.
The flame. It's the same color as the flames wit crystal oil produces.
Which means... Oh, wrong voice.
Bobbly's ink is a product of wit crystal oil. And when lit, the ink produces a green flame. I believe the time has come to clip the Yatagarasu's other wing.
Miss Sheena, you're the fake Yatagarasu! The one who killed my father!
It's about time you came clean, Agent Sheena. Or should I say, Callisto-YEW.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, you're not serious, are you?
Do I look like the joking type to you?
In certain scenarios. Callisto-YEW. I've never heard that name before in my life. That manner of speaking and that attitude, you haven't changed a bit in 7 years.
You're the defense attorney that killed Mr. Faraday and then tried to frame me for it.
Oh, really? And you have proof? You insist that I am this Callisto-YEW woman, but you can't prove it? If you have no proof, then I'm afraid you won't be able to lay a single finger on me.
The raven is a very unique bird, one that flies by the darkness of night. However, the light of dawn has arrived, and it will reveal your true ugly form to the world.
Enough poetry. I want to see some evidence. Do you really have something that can prove that she is Callisto-YEW?
I do. It's something that the second Yatagarasu has preserved for us these last 7 years.
Do me the honor, Mr. Edgeworth.
I will, Kay. But we have finally come to the end. We'll prove her to be Callisto-YEW with this and clip this Yatagarasu's wing for good.
Well, the thing she protected was this perfume. So, if she smells like this, it's her. She could have swapped perfumes. I don't know.
This perfume. This will prove you to be Callisto-YEW.
It will?
Kay has preserved it perfectly for us. Surely you remember this bottle? This belonged to Miss Yew just before she disappeared 7 years ago. Naturally, this means that a few of her fingerprints are on here as well.
Oh, I see. This is the bottle of perfume you spilled, which I have preserved ever since. I heard from my father, Bern Faraday, that if stored under the right conditions, a fingerprint can be preserved for decades, which means that your fingerprints are still on here. Every last one. Not thinking big enough. Wow.
We can clear everything up if we were to compare the prints on this to your own. Now come, Agent Sheena. Will you submit yourself to a fingerprint test?
Oh no, here comes the laughter. They're crazy. Yep. Good God. Looks like you've seen right through me yet again. You're sending the biggest chill down my spine, Edgeworth.
Callisto! You?
So you've shown your true face at last! This feeling of thrill. It's even greater than that time 7 years ago.
Sheena, you're...
Lang, I really enjoyed our days together. You're an insanely strong, nice, and kind-hearted idiot of a man.
So you were a spy all along? A mole sent by the smuggling ring I've been chasing after? Someone who's been feeding them intel on Interpol all this time?
Very good. Maybe you're not as big of an idiot as I thought. Callisto-YEW, the woman who killed my father 7 years ago? You're her, aren't you? The fake Yatagarasu? That's right, Callisto-YEW. That's just one of my many names. But even that is just a facade. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the great thief Yatagarasu.
Bullshit. Callisto-YEW, this time you won't escape, but this is the end of the road for you. Now come along quietly.
You know, you're the one who left the strongest impression on me, Kay Faraday. And had you not used the Yatagarasu's gadgets, I might have never known who you were. But here you are, being a thorn in my side, just like your father always was.
Kay, don't.
You! I'll never forgive you for what you did to my father! You really are just like him. Mr. Faraday, too, possessed such laughable honesty. Oh, good, she's got a gun. Fun.
Kay! You'll let Kay go right now, pal!
You despicable! Let go of me, you filthy... Oh, boy. You think I'm a fake, don't you? Well, unfortunately for you, I'm the real Yatagarasu. But that's impossible! My father was the one who created Little Thief. Edgeworth, Yatagarasu has 3 legs. Do you know why that is?
Why it has 3 legs?
There are 3 main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be one step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system.
No. It can't be.
Did you finally figure it out? Did you finally know the real identity of the Yatagarasu?
The real identity of Yatagarasu is...
Oh, shit. Something tells me it's neither of them. But I'm trying to piece it together myself who it could possibly be. Burn's dead. Callisto's a bitch. But... And Kay, absolutely not. It's Old Meg! No. Huh. Couldn't be she long, would it? It'd be ironic if somebody who was after the smuggling ring for so long was actually a part of it. I feel like she is an accomplice. The real identity of the Yatagarasu is neither Burn Faraday nor Callisto-YEW. But by the same token, they are also both the real Yatagarasu. Not very perceptive of you. No way! A single person known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu never existed. Mr. Edgeworth? No! I refuse to believe this! The Yatagarasu is known to have 3 special skills. Skill number 1. The Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. And a lawyer would have the opportunity to learn the layout of client corporations. Skill number 2. The Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. And a good prosecutor would be well versed in the ways of a criminal. And skill number 3. The Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind. Ever. You bastard! Detective Bad!
It was only natural for the Yatagarasu to never leave evidence behind, because the lead detective on the case hid it all away.
You're the 3rd member of the Yatagarasu?
You. I've been looking for you for a long time. 7 long years, but I finally got you.
Why, Mr. Bad, long time no see. What happened to us? We used to be such a great team. You were such a great team, then why did you kill my father 7 years ago? Why indeed. It was nothing personal, really. He was just another person I had to kill. How could you say that? I grow weary of this. It's about time for everything to come to an end. And this time, I won't miss. Stop! You! Kay! Oh, damn it. It's over, Sheena. Whoa. Your leg! Shit! He's a hero! Agent Leg!
You idiot, what were you thinking jumping in front of my gun like that? What are you risking your life for?
I'm sorry, Detective Bad, but no matter what sort of past she may have had, or even if she is a spy, it doesn't change the fact that she is my subordinate. As long as she is, I can't allow any harm to come to her. Not even from you. You really are an idiot, you know that? It's fine with me. You should know by now that this is just how I am. Hey, sis. Yes? I want you to conduct a full body search. Sheena might have another weapon on her. All right. Detective Gumshoe, your assistance, please. Sir, pat her down. Take every single switchblade off her.
Hey, I found something!
Aha!
What is this, sir? Looks like the blade of a knife, but it doesn't have a handle.
This is a great find, Detective.
It is, sir.
Let's try pairing up this blade with this handle. I believe this blade actually belongs with the handle that was on the murder weapon.
Hey, they fit together perfectly.
This blade must have been taken from the crime scene when the knife handles were switched.
I'm gonna go return this Baba Lee's knife now.
I mean, it's evidence now. It has to be brought to court.
All right, I trust that you'll make sure it is returned to Ambassador Polino.
Baba Lee's knife a handle given to Detective Gumshoe.
I believe this makes it perfectly clear who did it. Callisto-YEW! But the only time the handles could have been switched is just after Mr. Cohen's murder. Which means that you must be Mr. Cohen's killer. You killed Mr. Cohen with the Albazian knife. Switched the handles and then took the original blade of the Bobbly's knife with you. Later, you allowed yourself to be spotted by Kay near the open-air stage. You used the fireplace to lose her, and then you went back to accuse her of the murder. Does that about sum it up?
You craft an engaging tale, Edgeworth, but there are two problems with it.
Problems? In what respect?
Why did you think my real reason was in allowing her to chase after me?
You have another reason?
It was also I could capture Kay Faraday.
What?
When I saw you using that device at Gatewaterland, I knew right away that you were Byrne Faraday's daughter. I became curious, so I researched a little into your background. That's how I found out that you were on the trail of the Yatagarasu. So that's why you tried to pin Mr. Cohen's murder on me. Yes, I knew you would show up at this embassy tonight, so I thought to use you, but pinning the murder on you wasn't my only goal. You had another? Yes. Once I had you under arrest, I had planned to search you and take back the device that rightfully belongs to me, the true Yatagarasu. You were gonna take Little Thief away from me?
Bastard.
7 years ago, it was thanks to that device that Faraday was able to infiltrate this place. But he stole more than he should have. I had a tough time recovering that precious key.
Then the person who stole the Yatagarasu's key was Mr. Faraday.
You? That incident 7 years ago. What was the catalyst behind it?
In the eyes of the smuggling ring, the Yatagarasu was becoming a bit of a problem. It wasn't an especially pleasant assignment.
Shit! Well, everything's like... Every single loose end of this is coming together in one foul swoop. Then why? Why did you become a member of the Yatagarasu?
Why? There's no why. I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning.
From the beginning? What is that supposed to mean?
The person I take orders from hasn't changed, even now to this day.
Does this mean that the leader of the smuggling ring wasn't Mr. Cohen? Then the real ringleader is still out there pulling the strings?
Are you done asking what you need to know? Because if so, we should probably get going. I am bleeding the hell out. And you are gonna tell me everything you did tonight. Do you understand, Sheena? I guess I should tell you, then I was the one who set the Bobbly's embassy on fire.
In retrospective, yeah. And why did you do that?
I suppose it was to destroy all evidence of the counterfeit bills. That was what the smuggling ring was trying to do. But then why start two fires? Sorry, but I can't tell you anything about the ring. It's your job to complete your investigation, after all. I've had my fun. Now it's your turn to enjoy the ride. Wait! Yeah, I mean, Miss Sheena? Yes? When I fell to the floor earlier, these fell at my feet. What about them? They're such pretty hair sticks that I thought, well, that I should return them to you. You can have them. They're no use to me anymore. If you don't want them, you can always just throw them away. No, I want to keep them. Suit yourself. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. Edgeworth? About the second problem I had with your story? I didn't kill anyone tonight.
What?
I'm not saying that as a sore loser. Think of it as a hint, if you will. Mr. Prosecutor.
Yes, Agent Lang?
Mark my words. I'm not done here. And I'll be back. And it's got nothing to do with duty or anything, because this has become my personal case. I may have been shot, but I'll show you just how dangerous a wounded wolf can be.
His anger appears to have negated the sensation of pain in his injured leg.
Yes.
Okay. So who actually killed who tonight? It's not over. It's finally over, Kay.
I feel like I've peered into her heart a little, you know? It's so cold and dark and incredibly lonely. The person who was giving her all these commands, The one who thought my father was a problem to be removed.
That person is the real ringleader behind the smuggling ring.
Mr. Edgeworth, I have a favor to ask. Can you hold on to these hair sticks for me? Evidence. They're really pretty, just like the ones they were selling for the Gem and Ninja show. But until this case is over, I don't think I can look at them without being overcome.
I understand. I'll take good care of them for you. There's a bit of soil stuck on the end of these sticks.
Right. Evidence.
Oh, I guess it's that time already, huh?
So it's midnight, the dawn of another day.
Hey, Pops, thanks a bunch. You really done a lot for everyone all these years. Detective Bad, don't tell me today is the day.
Yeah, it is. With this, I can retire in peace. It was down to the wire and we almost didn't make it. But we did it. We solved everything.
But that's just it. We haven't solved everything yet. The ringleader of the smuggling ring the Yatagaras-YEW, were chasing after.
The legend of that Yatagarasu is now over. Mr. Edgeworth, that bit of logic earlier, it was brilliant.
Good. Praise! Raise the roof.
I feel like I can leave it all in your hands. I'm counting on you.
Is it really true, Uncle Bad? Were you also a part of the Yatagarasu?
As I said to you earlier, Kay, I'm truly sorry. I wanted nothing but a peaceful life for you.
Uncle Bad.
Hey, don't take it so seriously. It's all just one big joke, right?
Unfortunately, it isn't.
But, oh, come on, sir. She's just yanking on my chain. Isn't she, Mr. Edgeworth? Detective Bad. Wait. No, you are no longer a detective. Mr. Bad, I'd like to ask you about the Yatagarasu. Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth, here, I should give these back to you.
Oh, sweet.
These are the pages from my KG8 case file that the Yatagarasu stole from my office. Oh, wait, what?
Mr. Edgeworth, I must apologize for last night.
You bastard! So the Yatagarasu who stole, oh god damn it, another one of these. The Yatagarasu who strolled into my office was you?
That's unfortunate. That is pretty sweet. I guess. Maybe. I don't know. Very crafty bastard. I really wish that this little typo didn't exist in multiple freaking lines.
The Yatagarasu who strolled into my room was you, was it? Wait, that means... What? Tell me it's not true. That's too insane for me to believe, sir.
It's true, even if it's not something you want to hear.
Stole into my room is an expression. Is it an expression? I have never heard of it before. Damn it. Okay, well, then I apologize for the translators for this game.
The KG8 incident. It was a very emotionally trying case. We stood in that courtroom, Faraday as the prosecutor, and I as the lead detective. Faraday had evidence in his possession that would prove the defendant guilty. However, because it was stolen, the defendant was found innocent. You was the elder sister of the victim in the case. When the defendant was pronounced not guilty, she let out a great wail. That's when we realized that there was a limit to what the law could do. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought at the time. That's how we formed the Yatagarasu, and vowed to bring to light any dirty dealing companies had with the ring, including companies that dealt with the Amano Group.
Mr. Amano's conglomerate.
We called ourselves the Yatagarasu and flexed our collective muscle. We exposed all sorts of shady dealings as a warning to the business world as a whole. By doing that, we were able to stop the higher-ups from covering things up. And then, it was finally time. We'd finally arrived at the moment when we'd find out the ringleader's true identity. It was then that you literally stabbed us in the heart, and Faraday had died for it.
But why... Wasn't she the sister of the victim in the KG-8 incident?
After Faraday's death, I looked into her past, and that's when I found out that she was a phony. The victim of the KG-8 incident, h-hhaa. She never had a sister.
Oh, damn. What? Then that means...
Sheena wasn't the only fake name she used. Callisto-YEW was also another pseudonym. From the very beginning, that woman was a spy sent by the smuggling ring.
She said it herself. I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning.
Anyway, let's return to the real topic at hand. Mr. Edgeworth, this trump card that we stuck onto this page of the case file. Please use it wisely.
Trump card?
That photo that we stuck on there. Try peeling it off. Behind it slumbers a piece of evidence that Faraday hid away all those years ago.
It's the mark of the Yatagarasu. But why?
This is a directives card from the big boss. Take a look at the back.
Oh, it is bloody. Good.
This was something Cohen had on him at the time of the KG-8 incident, 10 years ago. That blood is from the victim of the incident, Miss h-hhaa.
But why is the card adorned with the mark of the Yatagarasu?
The reason why we called ourselves the Yatagarasu was because of the three-legged raven mark that the smuggling ring boss used. Apparently orders from the boss would come on these cards without fail. The person who received the order was supposed to burn it immediately after reading it. And apparently it burns a bright green flame when set ablaze.
Boy, so much symbolism. So you mean the cards were written in Bob-Lee's ink?
The fact that the card that Cohen was sent made it into Faraday's hand at all is nothing short of a miracle. We decided that whenever we stole anything, we would send a card along with it to the police.
So that's what those white cards are.
The great thief that used the mark, that only those within the ring would know. It was our message to the ringleader, that we were only a few steps behind.
I see. Interesting.
And one more thing, Detective Gumshoe. I'm entrusting this to you.
That is the most disgusting lollipop on the face of the planet. Don't hand that to him. Oh, never mind.
What is that, sir?
This is what I was talking about earlier. During the KG-8 incident, the trial Faraday had this in his possession. This important, definitive piece of evidence.
But I thought it was stolen. How do you have it?
The person who stole it from us 10 years ago was a man by the name of Ernest Amano,
Ah, you bastard.
and he had it locked and hidden away for all this time. But we forced him to tell us where it was finally, after the other day's kidnapping case.
Convenient. This video. Don't come any closer. I'm warning you. This is the same video as the one Mr. Portsman was trying to conceal from me.
Yeah, it would seem that even he was caught up in the ring's web. Amano was preparing to take on the boss someday, and the video was his insurance. That's where that prosecutor comes in. He was to retrieve the video. On top of that, he was apparently instructed to sneak into your office and steal the trump card. You saw it for yourself, right? The card that told him to preserve the evidence.
Then that card was not the calling card of the Yatagarasu, but rather a directives card from the ringleader to Mr. Portsman?
The two pieces together make for a strong weapon for whoever holds them.
The evidence Mr. Portsman thought to withhold from me, and the one that you stole from my office last night. Both pieces are illegal, and for me to use either one is...
Whether you use them or not, it's up to you. But they will be of help to you when you take on someone who is above the law.
Is the boss one of those who cannot be brought to court that Mr. Faraday spoke of?
Detective Bad. There is no limit to the law, for it is the people who determine the limits to them.
You still insist that, even now? You really are something else. I'll leave the rest in your hands. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, handcuffs. It's time to lock up the last remaining member of the Yatagarasu.
Pops.
Don't ever lose your detective spirit.
Pops, why is this happening? This isn't justice.
Like I always told you, do not get emotionally involved. Now, let's go.
Yes, sir.
Oh, damn it. Poor Gumshoe.
Is this really the end of a legend?
Apparently to be Alright, I need to know. How much longer is this gonna go? It says to be continued. How many more freaking chapters do we got? I've been going long a little bit longer than I have been as of late. I really would like to know how much more are we going from this? Like, do we have, you know, like how many more parts of the chapter? The last part is long. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm thinking that I might want to leave this to sometime later because it's already like 10:30. And yeah, if the last part, if this is the last part, and if it's real long, I think I'd like to keep it on another day. But holy crap. That was a roller coaster. Though, yeah, once again, we still don't have any idea about who killed who here. And I am interested in figuring that one out, that's for sure. Really feel like it should have ended here, though. You know, I was thinking that. I'm like, are we reaching the end? Because, like, holy shit. Like, this would be a really good cliffhanger to, like, the next game or something. With Sheena as the mastermind. Yeah, maybe. I guess I'll see who the final mastermind ends up being. But yeah, I do wonder what the hell could be so incriminating on those tapes that could genuinely take somebody down, and that they are so desperate to get a hold of. Anyway, that'll do it for the stream tonight. So thanks everybody who popped into the chat to say hello, talk in the chat. I appreciate it. I don't think I really have to do too much editing for this. I didn't run into any like horrifying stop gaps, so I'll probably just process this and upload it to the YouTube channel as soon as I can. Schedule Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday, all of them starting at around 7. Tomorrow, I am thinking about doing the Stardew Valley multiplayer because I have really been jonesing to do that, and it just recently dropped the beta version of it, and I've seen it update a couple of times here and there, so I hope they've worked out some kinks. As well as I have lined up some people to play it with, so that should be fun. I also need to get back on playing more Legend of Zelda, because we are very close to finally finishing off that. I just need to go to like 2 more Divine Beasts, and I get a motorcycle. I so badly want one of those. And that's about... Well, I have West of Loathing as well. But yeah, I'm not going to go... I'm not going to go off on some ridiculous rant. And also, maybe it's just the fact that my AC unit is inside another room with a door cracked, but it is still particularly warm in this room. Damn it. I guess I'll have to try and come up with a way to refine the system so I'm not melting in the summer. I guess I will see. But at the very least, you guys can hear my voice and you're not hearing an AC unit. So, woohoo! Alright, anyways, I'm off. So, thanks for coming out. See you next time.